Sorry.
Who do you look at now to in the middle to win those sort of centre clearances and be able to get the ball forward for you guys?
Yeah, so Jai Lou, who he was right up there he had a great season last year. I'm sure you'd be aware of him. He's captain now too, because we've lost Luke, obviously. And we've got Ricky Aiken sort of up forward to just straighten us up a little bit.
Yeah.
Gives a bit more experience.
And the other guy who's one of your big stars, of course, who'll be looking to have a big game today is Kieran Gray. He's just a fantastic player, isn't he? Please tell me he's not playing.
He's not playing.
He's not playing?
No, he's out.
Right.
And I'm disappointed. Look, we've got guys that give opportunity and we can come through, but I'm disappointed for you guys. You know, it's a great day, and I would have loved to have just had our best side out there. And
super player and already 5 goals. So is that a COVID thing or is that
no?
unrelated?
That's a fiance related.
Oh.
Yeah, had to go away for a week, which look I knew about. I did say to him Thursday that I'm hearing that all flights are going to be cancelled this weekend, so didn't go down too well.
No chance of a big snowstorm having it at the airport or anything.
That's the flip side of the COVID stuff as well, is that people haven't had a chance to do that sort of stuff. So look, he's out. I could have probably played coy, and I think he's still on the team sheet, isn't he? So our footy ops probably
just been scratched off.
He's scratched off. So look, it's going to be out there in an hour or so anyway. So we're a few down. We are. Yep. We're a few down.
Okay. But it gives opportunities for others, doesn't it? And it's the big thing.
Absolutely. And it's it's going to take a real fight today. And I'm confident. I really am. So. If we can get a win today, look, this will be one that could really springboard us. Yep. So, I'm pretty excited in that sense.
And you played Warrandyte twice last year and went down both times.
Yeah.
Because you had such a good season besides those 2 games, maybe one other. Can you point out anything that went wrong that day or both days when you played against them, and what you're looking to improve on?
I think it was probably, give them credit, it was more about them in those 2 games. They were really good around the footy. They hurt us around the footy a lot. We got them off two breaks. Like, they were pretty fresh both times. And once again, no excuses and credit to them. But we thought if the year had gone on, we had a few plans in place that we could have changed that result or hoped to change that result. But look, they're a good side. They are a really good side. So, it's not going to be easy today by any means. And, you look at them and Waverley and Donvale and now Whitehouse has popped up. You got Coldstream, scores for winning games, Glen Waverley. So, it is a week-to-week thing, and we're 0-3, but I think because it's so even, if we can start getting some wins on the board, we've still got enough time.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming in today, Brent, and we're looking forward to seeing how you guys go. A couple of outs, but it should be a good game, and we're looking forward to see how the boys go.
I love your work, guys. I've listened to you for years now, so it's good to sit in the seat up here with you.
Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
No worries.
Thank you.
Bye.
That's their Furniture Gully coach, Brent Kiker, talking about today's game at Wally Tew Reserve against Warrandyte. So a few key outs there. And
I was
some
actually,
really strong players.
That's definitely changed my tip now that that Gray's not playing, but obviously there's some guys missing. But as we said, it gives opportunities for others to step up, and there's some young guys in today. But it's going to be tough, isn't it now?
Yeah, it certainly is. Obviously, that's some big outs. But we're going to go our first break. We're going to have Paul Donahue. Not too far after the break, we're at Wally Tew Reserve for the round 4 clash between Furniture Gully and Warrandyte.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve, Ferntree Gully, as we watch the Eagles take on the Bloods in today's Eastland EFNL match of the round. And big Division 3 game. Warrandyte looking to get their 3rd win of the season and go well on their way to getting back in the finals and the premiership race. Whereas Ferntree Gully need to get their season started. They sit 0-3, and the 2 boys to the right of me spoke to Ethan Kiker there just before. So, not Ethan, that's his son, Brent. We spoke about Ethan, about other things going on at Ferntree Gully. And best though, you asked a couple of good questions about some players that we've wanted to watch over the years and enjoyed watching. And obviously, one of the last games we called last year was out at Donvale, where Donvale and Ferntree Gully played out a thriller. Yeah. What was the insight that Brent gave you there? I thought he was pretty open and honest. He didn't hide did not hide behind anything, but he didn't try to, keep anything from us. He was pretty open with where they're at.
Yeah, like Kieran Gray's a massive loss. That's going to be huge for Ferntree Gully, and there's a couple of other guys out as well. But as we said, he's confident that the young guys that he's given the opportunities to will step up and do the job. But they've still got plenty of other good players. I mean, you've still got the likes of Jai Delou, watched a bit of his footage on YouTube this week, and he's a very lively character. Mitch Sertzakos, I think he plays across the back or across half back, so he's good. And of course, big Daniel D, so he'll go into the ruck at different times today and can go forward and kick some goals, as well as can Gavin Kalispiris. So still plenty of talent out there, but they will miss Kieran Gray, no doubt.
Yeah, it's certainly that middle that's going to be hard to win the middle battle there without Kieran Gray. And Kieran Gray can obviously go forward and add to the scoreboard as well. So that's a really big loss, because they're probably needing an extra key, not a key forward, an extra forward that can
I think, sorry to cut you off there, Ron, but Kieran Gray, I know he's not playing today, and, you know, if my partner's listening, I would do the same thing for her as well, Brett.
Is that what you told me before?
No,
I shouldn't have. Sorry.
I know she's not listening, so. But Kieran Gray, obviously, you've got him down as a midfield, and I think that's a pretty apt description of him, Ryan. He's probably going to have to play more midfield minutes now with McComb, you know, PCL injury from all reports, so that's a lengthy layoff. And as he mentioned there, they've got a couple other players that are just going to be missing today with, you know, Little Knox. What was it? One of them's woken up with COVID-like symptoms, you know, which is Nick Wood. So he's going to have to play a big role on the ball. So he, Deleu, as you mentioned, Jack Flannery, the new recruit going up forward, Camera, they're the players that are going to have to go from that nice cream on top to the real nuts and bolts of this side if they're going to compete today.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to step up from being effectively a supporting cast to the leading cast, if that makes sense. But I mean, we forget about McComb. I completely forgotten about him, so that's two massive. No McComb and no Gray, but you know, as we say, there's plenty of opportunities for others to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting. And like we said, Paul Donahue, he's actually playing in the reserves at the moment. He said he's going to join us. I think he finishes himself up at halftime and then pops up and has a chat to us. So let's talk more about the actual game then, Ron. You've got a lot of notes in front of you. Warrandyte are an interesting case because their loss to Coldstream seems pretty out of character because they've beaten two good sides in the Waverley Blues and Donvale, admittedly both at home, in pretty hotly contested, tight games. And then they went out to Coldstream and went down by 10 points.
Well, it's an interesting start to the season. It's three sides they didn't play last year. They never played Donvale or Waverley Blues with the interruptions during the season and a bit of a different fixture. So they're playing sides that they haven't really had a good read on. Obviously, Coldstream come up a division and probably impressed quite a few coming up. But their focus on Phillips went goalless in that game against Coldstream, and they were only able to kick about 7 goals. And in their 2 wins, he's kicked 3 and 4, and that includes one, the game against Waverley Blues in bad conditions. So you wonder if, you know, how much do they need to rely on him to have a big bag? And obviously last year he didn't need to. As dominant as he was, they still had games where he didn't have to be the star of the show.
We watched one of them, didn't we, against East Burwood, where they double-teamed him out of the game, and then Donahue, you know, pulled the lever and played him up the ground and actually started him on the bench, I think, in the second half and was able to move it around. He obviously won the league medal as well, Ryan Phillips. It's such an interesting case because we talk about clubs best, though, not wanting to be too centric on one forward, and your boys, Noble Park, and are probably keen to find someone who could do it because they're so uncentric, they don't have a key forward
no, they don't.
On paper. No. But you look at Ryan Phillips, so we would say, you know, you don't want to be a one-trick pony up forward, but the fella's just come off winning a league medal as an out-and-out key forward. So it's sort of it's a hard thing to say. I'd just keep doing what you're doing, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, you know, he just keeps performing and he keeps almost making himself the centre point. Like, it's all very well to say, you know, we've become too Ryan Phillips centred, but I mean, 7 goals in a couple of games. He's a fabulous player. There's no doubt about it. But they've got some other good players on this side, and I think they're the ones that will need to. I like Nakota Brooking too. He's always nice and lively.
He's a very attractive player to watch.
Yeah, so he'll be another one to keep an eye on. And there's plenty of others. You know, Mitch Skeen, Taylor Hayton. He is massive in the ruck.
Well, a bit of Wolverine about him, wasn't there, last year? He was quite a shoot man, but he dominated the ruck. He was key against East Burwood, that game we saw last year. And East Burwood obviously doing good things.
Yeah, he looks like one of those. What do they call them? Mountain men. You know, the ones that live up the...
you're right. He was undersized, but he just competed so well and was key to their victory that day last year. Tom Grimes obviously returns to the club as well, which is a big in on paper, and also might have been just that finishing touch. Obviously, Warrandyte didn't take the opportunity to go up a division, Ryan, so maybe they were looking for a couple of extra, you know, cream on top, because East Burwood went up knowing they had a lot of under-19s coming through. Warrandyte may be a different situation.
Yeah, it is a bit. And look, I think they've done the right decision. They spoke in the pre-season about they're not playing for minor premierships. They want to win the actual thing, and you know, they're one of the sides that can, and you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how their midfield goes as Paul enters the room right now. So there's good timing, and
and he's just come off a few kicks as well. We saw him. We saw him get a couple of clearances as well in the reserves as well. Paul, just welcome to the broadcast, mate. How are you feeling, mate? Off at half time, the reserves coach will be pretty angry with you.
No, it's always the plan. I'd have the third quarter off, so got to get the one sorted as well. But it's always good to get back out and have a kick again. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Talk us through what's happening, mate. We were just talking about the first 3 weeks for you guys. It's been quite unique. You know, 2 really tough wins against sides that many of us had in the top 4 at the start of the year in Waverley Blues and Donvale, and then the loss to Coldstream, where you look to maybe have their measure for the first 3 quarters and they pipped you.
Yeah, I don't know whether we had their measure, to be honest. We've experienced things this year that we haven't for a few years. And, we've had 5, 6, 7 changes. I think round 1 to round 2 we had 7 changes.
I think you've had, this is your most stable, and you've had 4 this week.
And we've been able to actually put 2 back. The other rest have been forced. So, but yeah, against Colcham, we lost 2 defenders before half time. And to credit to them, Carrigan and Craig in the middle played really well. Fritsch and Edmonds up forward as well. And we just didn't have the legs to run it out, and they did. So, luckily we don't line with Waverley Blues and Domvale. Otherwise, we could easily be in the same situation as Ferntree Gully today.
Paul, we asked this question to Brent as well, because it's early in the season and we're just sort of getting back to knowing who's on whose list. Young players that you've come into your side this year that we can look out for, who have you got?
There's a few. I was just talking to Brent, actually. We've both got 12 different players to this game last year in the senior side. So that's the difference of what's going on. But, Jake Moss come across from North Ringwood. He got best on ground last week. Bit of time in the midfield was really good. We've been able to blood a few of the younger kids as well. Lockie Pollock's the under-19s captain. He's playing with us at the moment as well. Another kid, Connor Bowden's come down from the Northern Territory, going really well as well. So, you could name a fair few of them, and then you've got the older heads running around, your Sean Jellies and all these ones that have been around for a while as well. So it's a really good mix at the moment.
And as you said, there's a lot of changes from both sides, and especially with Ferntree Gully, there's a lot of their midfielders, Kieran Gray and that. So it's obviously a different side to what you played against last year, and you've got a different side, but you match up really well against them, and you won both games. Do you take anything from that, and what did go well when you did play them that you try and bring into this game?
Look, you take some knowledge from it. You get to know them and what they do. We've got personnel change, but you don't try and change the structures too much in that sort of way. So, look, we thought we play a really good brand inside, but we thought we actually might have got them a little bit on the outside last time with a bit of run and a few sort of things. So, looking for those younger kids again, to really, obviously, a bigger ground, things like that. If we can get it out wide and get it running, we're hopeful that we'll come out on top.
Tom Grimes, we spoke about him a couple of weeks before the season. He just popped up on the transfer list. Tell us about your interesting connection there and how you got him back to the club.
Yeah, well, Tom's my brother-in-law, so I'm married to the older one of the Grimes clan, Haley. So it's always been a conversation at the dinner table from 12, 18 months ago, really. And he was a bit torn. He's got a few things going on with his study and his work.
Is that how you ended up Warrandyte the first time, that connection, or was it a different one?
Yeah, no, well, Tom had never played with Jack and Nathan, and I'd finished playing at Paran. I was done, and they sort of said, we're all going to go down and find a club. Do you want to come in? And I said, for sure. I wasn't going to miss out on that opportunity. And then obviously the coaching gig came up, and ever since that, Tom had signed at Hurstbridge last year, but I'd always, obviously, around the dinner table, always drop that and see what we can do. So he adds great, whether he goes forward, midfield or back, he can play anywhere as well.
And how has he gone? It's sort of hard because of, he's obviously just wanting to maybe just play his footy and enjoy it, but someone with that sort of skill level, you'd want to lean on him. How much has he sort of offered on the track?
A lot. Look, because of his study and stuff, he can't train on a Tuesday night. So that was one of the things with it. And obviously playing at a higher level in Northern Div 1 didn't sort of sit well with them. But yeah, look, he just adds grunt experience and knowledge on the field, and that's what we're after. As I said, he's played forward the first 2 weeks and played midfield last week, but he can go back as well. So that's versatility. But he doesn't add any more sort of leadership than the other guys that are out there. He just adds to it.
And having a run in the reserves, you playing alongside a lot of these boys, does it help, like being able to play with some players that you can look at as potential players for the senior side in future weeks? Do you get a bit of a different view?
You do. You get up close and personal. It's always good to get a few touches to say that you can still do it as well. That helps. But no, it's good to see them because you can also coach a bit on the ground, while you're out there and really chat to them. And, we put 2 guys back this week, so to be able to be out there with them and sort of point a few things out as they're doing it, or, talk them through, maybe look this way or whatever that might be, I think it adds another element, yeah.
And then what about Ferntree Gully? You mentioned that, you guys, you probably haven't played the footy you wanted to play in the first 3 weeks and have got away with a couple of wins. They haven't. But what about them? Obviously with the footage this year, you've been able to watch most games everyone else has played. What are you expecting from them? And why do you think they've maybe been, without obviously stepping out of your lane, why do you think they might have been, in this situation?
Look, it's really hard. I only watched last week of them. I didn't watch the Waverley Blues game or that before. But, just looking at the scores, they haven't been far off. So, I know that, McComb's obviously been injured and Curry hasn't taken the field yet. So they're just missing a bit of top-end experience, I think. So even in the twos out there, a lot of young kids running around. So, I think we're always wary of them, and it starts. You got Big Danny in the ruck, in the midfield there. You know you're up against it straight away, and they got their backs to the wall. I saw the piece that you had, Matt, during the week, and they'll be thinking about this because they can't afford to go 0-4. So it's a huge game. Yeah.
Did you have any expectations before the season started? I mean, most coaches play it sort of a bit close to their chest, but did you sort of think to yourself, finals are on the cards, or did you set yourself any goals at the start of the season?
Oh, you have to say finals are on the cards. I mean, the reality is 9 teams want to play that, but you finished on top last year, didn't get the chance to go through and possibly prove ourselves or not. We don't know where we would have sat. East Bird were a very good side, and we didn't come up against Waverley and Donvale, which has been well publicised. So we weren't really sure. But you've got to look and see. You got Whitehorse, Coldstream, these sort of ones improving, but we've got to improve that bit as well. And it's got to be a finals campaign ahead.
And you were probably one of the best attacking sides last year, and a lot of that has to do with Phillips up forward. But what are some of the other players up there that you sort of expect to be able to hit the scoreboard or just be able to influence a game up forward, even if they're not on the score sheet with the goals at the end of the game?
Yeah, I think Dakota Brooking's one that comes to mind. It's just a small little electric forward that really loves to get in and under, do some miracle sort of things, and Connor Bowden, you'll see today, is sort of in a similar mould in that way. But yes, we're very good attacking, but I think that started from our half-backs last year. We've got a very sort of attacking half-back line. We had the best defence in the comp last year, and I think they set a lot of that up. So a lot of it comes from back there, to be honest.
And Chris Tout, he's not named today. What's his go? He's obviously one that everyone was excited to watch play today, but injury?
Yeah, he busted his hand in round 1. Our skipper ripped his bicep, and Towdy broke his hand in the first 5 minutes of round 1. And
ripped his bicep?
Yeah,
talk us through that.
Torn the muscle on the side there, so Michael Cullum did. With a handball.
Right. And he's notorious for not handballing. So
exactly, that'll teach him. That'll teach him. Yeah, don't do it. So, but him. We've had a few hamstrings. We've had a couple of shoulders. We've had the lot. So, I think we've played 33 players as of today, and that's what we did for the whole year last year, and we're at round 4. So, it's no longer you're looking for your 22 to 26 to sort of really top it up. It's now into the 30s and up to 35, 36 that you really need to do it now.
And with your 19s, how much are you trying to watch them and look at them? Because some clubs view the 19s at some places are actually a better place to pull players from.
Yeah.
Your reserves, to be fair, look like they're all in pretty good nick, to be honest. But is that something when in your time at Prahran, I'm sure you would have been looking at the 19s or the 18s before you looked at the thirds?
Yeah, look, definitely. I think you've got to, and we've had, as I said, Lockie Pollock's playing. This is his 3rd game of the year, I think. We've got a few other young blokes down there. I try and watch as much as I can. I've also got a parent on a Saturday morning, so it makes it hard, especially the 8:45 starts. That's a bit early, but no, look, we've got some really good, exciting players down there that I think will get some more games in during the year. And you sort of Kyle Appleby's. There's a few players running out here that have played some senior footy straight out of 19s over the last few years, so it's a good breeding ground. But like you said, our 2s are going very well this year as well, so there's a bit of talent running around out there also.
Well, Paul, thanks very much, mate, for joining us on the pre-game. We'll let you get your breath back, get showered, get changed, and get ready to coach the senior game. So good luck today.
All good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Paul.
Paul Donoghue there, the Warrandyte senior coach and reserve star at the moment. But a storied footballer himself, as you mentioned, played a lot of football at Prahran, and came across to Warrandyte in mid to late 30s and played in that year when they got close to winning the flag and were ousted by Waverley Blues in an elimination final, and then took over as coach last year and won a minor premiership. So he knows his football, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess they'll be under a bit of pressure today, I guess, because they go into this game now, if they weren't before, probably as reasonably hot favourites. So that always puts a bit of extra pressure on you. But, minor premiers last year, and as he said, they didn't get the chance to show their wares against a better team. So whilst they did that, everyone sort of would say, well, the sceptics would say, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. So this year, they've got a bit of a point to prove.
But it's certainly, when you look at the team sheets and you look at both sides, and it's not just Ferntree, Warrandyte, when we watched them, there's a lot of different players. It's going to be a different, almost a very different side for both teams. A lot missing some star power, which makes it interesting. We see it really tests out depth. Obviously, you said 33 players to already by round 4 is a lot to have.
Yeah, it's an interesting, and I love the way Warrandyte are a club that interests me because there's obviously it's quite an affluent area, the actual area itself. It's neighboured by Donvale. You could argue is a bit of a rivalry. Park Orchards is nearby as well, so it's obviously you would say not a tough area, Brett, but it's a well-to-do area. So I'm sure that there is the opportunity for them to blossom. But they are one of the clubs that Ray Baird would say that, you know, they're happy to sort of, you know, they'll grow naturally. They weren't keen, like an East Build, to take the first opportunity, which is an interesting case. And we'll see how it works out for them, because I'm sure they'd love to just taste a cup rather than the progression, as you said, Ryan. Sometimes it's about those moments. We're going to go to a break here on Eastland EFNL Match of the Round. We've spoken to both coaches. After the break, we'll talk all about this one and some of the other games around the league.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
What makes me me would have to be feel like I've got some unique, funny characteristics.
There's things that you don't even realise are part of your personality. It's your attitude.
My ability to care for other people.
My love for others.
Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve Eastland EFNL Match of the Day between Ferntree Gully and Warrandyte. Big Division 3 clash between the Eagles and the Bloods. A month ago, it looked like it might be an early grand final preview, but now it's a desperate time for the Gully. They need to get a win, and for Warrandyte, they need to probably just find some consistency, as Paul Donoghue said before the break there. They're 2-1, but he hasn't quite been happy with the way they're operating, and also the fact that they're just each week they seem to be making changes. This is the first week where they've actually been able to drop players rather than just pick players that are fit. Interesting signs at both clubs. Let's jump into some other games around the traps. We did a bit of Premier Division right off the top of the show before Brent Kiker joined us. Division 1 best though, Bayswater and Mitcham interest me because I think the loser's pretty much out of the finals race, and both clubs claim to have ambitions at making the top 5. I don't see either of them making it regardless, but a loss here to either side will be 1 and 3, and then all of a sudden, it's a long way back, considering how tight that division is.
Yeah, I looked at this one. I was thinking about it this morning because Bayswater have just they've just fallen off the perch since those glory years a few years ago when they were up in Division 1 as it was.
What was it? They won it in 2016, I think, off the top of my head. Had that year in 2017. And as we mentioned with, I think, Wanturna South as well, yes, on the podcast, that was right in that era where teams went up and they got belted.
That's right,
Which make Park Orchards so rare. But carry on.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's a tough one to call. I'm waiting for Bayswater to find some form. I just cannot believe that they're this bad. But without knowing their personnel, Mitcham, a bit hot and cold as well. So tough one to call. But maybe Bays. They're at home, aren't they, Bayswater?
It is at home.
Yeah, so maybe Bayswater. But they're hard to tip this year, just based on what they've produced so far.
Yeah, absolutely. In Division 2, we spoke about Baroni and Eastfield on the podcast yesterday. Spider got his teeth stuck into that one. He was he kept his cool because I kept trying to lead him towards tipping Baronia, but he wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have it whenever I tried to put in a Baronia tidbit or so and so. The other game, though, South Park in the Basin, that's at 6 p.m. So you won't hear any around the ground scores from there today. It'll be mighty cold.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Obviously not too far from here if you keep going down Burwood Highway for a little bit, but it'll be bloody cold at 6 p.m, especially if the rain was meant to hang around, Besto. It's a big game. I was talking to the Basin president during the women's game. He was running the water, Alex Winters, and they sort of, Ryan and Besto, they like us in round one. They think they're doing the right things. They just can't quite get a win. And the problem is they've now got the best side in the competition this week. So they're in a spot where they might be a draw after 4 games.
And well, the tough thing is they've been in all 3 games. The Ringwood one, we said they should have won. They blew that in the last 5 minutes.
They got jumped for
3 goals in the last 5 minutes. The Heathmont game, they were a bit off, but it was only, I think, about a 20-point margin. And Baronia, obviously, the draw had plenty of opportunities to win.
Should they have won it? You've got ears on the ground at the Baronia. Do they think they got away with the draw?
I think it was pretty even. They were saying that, obviously that they thought they should have won, but I would say the Basin would be saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, a couple more scoring shots.
Drake, I've always worried about their forward line, but Drake did really well on Jared Lake. Jared Lake has done, he's done the job on Tim Smith and a lot of other key forwards in Division 2. He was able to kick 3 and really get a hold of him, and I think that's important going forward because they are going to need someone to be able to kick, 3 or 4 each week if they are going to compete with a side like South Belgrave. But the tough reality is, if you're not getting the 4 points, you're still not getting the 4 points. So if they lose this and to be just the draw, it puts them in a really difficult spot. They should probably still play finals, I would say.
Well, it's top 5, and we've seen Oakley districts aren't in the running. Yep. We don't think Knox are in the running. Templestowe, Max Houghton told us on Anzac Day last week that that they've got a lot of injuries that doesn't take them out of the running, but they're not going to be as good as they once thought. And then the other runner there is Mulgrave as well. Have been impressive, but they've started 0-3 and have Heathmont today. So really, for the Basin to miss finals from here, they would have to lose both games to East Burwood, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think they'll still make it. And as you say, they've started off whilst not getting maybe the result, so they've been close enough and they've got a good enough list. So I think they'll still make it, probably around that 5th spot. But I'm not sure about today, though. I don't see
many people beating South Belgrave, let alone up the mountain in the freezing cold.
Yeah, and that's right at night. It makes it even harder, doesn't it? So
I've been to a night game. South Belgrave actually played Ferntree Gully back in that year when they won every game. I went up there for a night fixture. Oh, right. Never again. 1, they won by about 80 points and it was boring. And 2, you can't feel your hands after the first quarter. But nonetheless, this division, obviously, we think this is going to be a great game. And on paper, as I said a couple of weeks ago, it looked like an absolute ripper. But there's all the other games. Colchester and Glenwaverley is probably the one, given both sides 1 win, 2 losses. Because the other ones you expect Donvale to win comfortably, you expect Waverley Blues to beat Scoresby comfortably. Yep. But Colchester and Besto are going to be a hard task, as Warrandyte found out. But Glen Waverley play on a massive ground themselves, so they should be okay at adapting to the conditions. Yeah, we talked about Colchester, and of course they play their own ground very well. It's different conditions out there. It's often quite cold as well, a bit like South Belgrave. And they're coming up from a low division as well, but they've started all right. So I'd give them a sniff.
Yeah, I know I would too, and Glen Waverley, it's basically St Mary's this year, the amount of players that they've brought across from there, including
Salesians,
Yeah, so look, that's important for them to get a win on the board last week, especially with Scoresby and Fair Park getting wins early, and that race to avoid being in that bottom 2 it's going to be, I reckon it's going to be tight by the end of the season.
Circled back to that point because it adds more context to this game. But Division 4, Sylvan Surrey Park's the one that we'll probably get the biggest eyes on, given that it's a top table clash. If Surrey Park lose this by more than 7 or 8 goals, it's pretty much premiership for the taking for Sylvan. You wouldn't see them losing it if they've knocked off 2 of the main contenders in comfortable style, and that is their match that's celebrating their centenary as well, the Cats. So, which is good news for them. circle back now, Ryan. You brought up a good point. Double relegation this year in this division, Division 3. We expected at the start of the year Fair Park. Last year they were the easy beats. None of us really predicted this much of an improve. We thought they'd improve, but we didn't think they'd be anywhere near this improved, and we'll see how they go today against Donvale. Scoresby's the other side I thought were destined for the drop. They won in round 1 against Glen Waverley, but again, I'm not really sold to them. And then Glen Waverley, my other, they were the three battling it out. You've now got Ferntree Gully. If they lose today, which you would say on paper they will, 0-4, it's a bad year to have some injuries given the double drop.
Yeah, it is. And look, I mean, it is quite such an even division, and obviously you've seen a side like Whitehorse, who were in the, I think, bottom 2 last year, just burst out to a really good start, and they're playing good footy. And obviously, sides like Fair Park are managing to get over the line, and that's something Ferntree Gully haven't done. They've been 2 out of the 3 games have been well in range. They lost by a point to Fair Park and a goal to Glen Waverley. So they're games that at the end of the year you look. It could be 4 points that haunts them because they're very winnable, and they just haven't. They've just fallen short a couple of times.
Might turn into a good game next week too. As if Warrandyte have a good win today, they play Whitehorse next week, I believe.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
So that will be an interesting game next week. Yeah.
Yeah, you speak about Ferntree Gully there, Ryan. The wins or the losses, in those close games. Like you said, the Fair Park one, they were coming hard and just ran out of time. Luke McComb, obviously, in the one game he was able to play to full fitness, took and Kieran Gray, the 2 players that aren't playing today, took control in the last quarter. And the Glen Waverley one, I think after half time, they just kept peppering away, but Glen Waverley had already got out to a big enough lead, and that's the worry, as you say, that not taking those opportunities and slow starts in both instances and having to play catch-up footy might cost them in the long run. Besto, you said before that before Brent Kikich spoke to us, you had to change your tip after that. So, were you leaning towards Ferntree Gully before today?
Look, I was a little bit. I thought being at home and the likes of, obviously McComb's not playing, but I thought with Gray there, they're going okay. I mean, they've lost a couple of games short early on, but they've been relatively close losses. And I just had a bit of a feeling that they might have got the chocolates today, but I think with Gray out and a couple of other players missing, I think I'd certainly be backing Warrandyte today.
Ryan?
Yeah, I have to go with Warrandyte too, and I think they're not the biggest names, but they're midfields of likes of Moss and Buckley. And Skeens had a really good start to the year. They're going to be. I reckon they're going to probably be hard to beat in the middle, and I think the options up forward are just much more stronger for Warrandyte compared to Ferntree Gully, and I don't know if they can find enough goal scorers to win today.
Moss interests me. Coming from North Ringwood, I'll be interested to see what sort of role he plays because it's a fair drop down. If you can get him at a good ripe age where he's not dropping down because he's past that, he's actually dropping down for, it might be that this Warrandyte was his original club or friends or whatever. It's a handy pickup for Warrandyte, considering they want to win that premiership and just they needed to add a couple of extra bows.
Yeah, exactly. And look, a couple of, obviously Ferntree Gully had done a similar thing with McComb that, it just adds a bit more experience, a bit more talent and in the middle, and that's, the sort of play you're going to look at in a finals this year, I think, for Warrandyte to really step up and maybe give him that edge in a big finals game.
How do you think we'll line up on the big boy Phillips today?
Well, last year the defence, they didn't really have that key defender, did they? No. Ferntree Gully, Michael Top played that role, but he's playing a couple of games for Canterbury before he's going over to watch some cricket in Sri Lanka. So I don't know if he'll play on him. I think if you look at that list, Luke Sprouse maybe might be the one. It's going to be a team effort.
I think you'll probably find that they'll see how it goes. I mean, it could be a watch the space sort of thing. Someone will go on him if he gets a couple early.
I think the ground here, because it's so big, you can play that team defence as long as the guy who's sweeping and playing the intercepting role is just always aware of it. You can't have an off moment because it's so big. If he can sweep, which means he'll be able to drop and stop where the ball's coming. But if he does switch off at any moment, Ryan, he'll get caught out. The thing for Ferntree Gully today is D'Alessio is going to play a key role in the ruck. If he can win the hit-outs and they can actually get their hand, Deleuze in there, Sam Crocker, Sertzikos will probably have some time in the middle as well. If they can get their hands on it, and Chris Cox was mentioned as well, if they can get their hands on it and get in there, they just need to get that fast start, I think. A bit like Blackburn last week on Anzac Day Besto. They didn't end up winning, but because they were able to kick 3 or 4 early ones, it gave them some energy and some life. Yeah. I think if Warrandyte kicked the first 3 or 4, and unfortunately for us, obviously wanted to have a close game, it might go pretty bad. quickly. But if Ferntree Gully, I think the first quarter is so key. Obviously, they talk about the premiership quarter, third quarter, blah, blah. I think for Ferntree Gully, they need to start well and go into quarter time with some belief because they've still got some very good players on their list. Jack Flannery coming across from Narre Warren, they're a quality football club, so he's come across from there. He can play some good football. Calaspiris, as you mentioned, Besto, he can kick goals. Sprouse is a good key defender. Chris Cox is back in the side. Camera Deleu had that run and carry. Ricky Aiken, they've got some big raps on. Sam Crocker is fit and strong. Sertzakos and Daniel D'Esio has been doing it for a long time. So there's still plenty of good players on the list. I think they're just low in confidence at the moment, and that's why the fast start will be so key to them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the last thing, obviously, you want is for Warrandyte to start winning the SEN and clearances and put pressure on their back six because it's a strong forward line that Warrandyte have.
You've got a few notes on Warrandyte, right? I think that would be the one area Warrandyte might just be lacking is probably, I think the Waverley Blues would have probably come away from round one having won more of the contested stoppage clearance ball. And then as the game got on the outside and as Paul mentioned, they get a lot of their attacking run from half-back, the likes of Jordan Powell, Nakota Brooking on a wing and small forward. They provide run and outside sort of skill. I think on the inside might be an area teams can exploit Warrandyte.
It is, and that probably really hurts Ferntree Gully that they don't have those extra couple of players in there that, Kieran Gray right in the middle or a McComb that, I think that's why I think Warrandyte are probably going to be okay today. But you're right, in future games, I think that might be a bit of a concern. But obviously, the number one defence last year, their back six, as Paul said, they create a lot of run off the half-back. And, I think if they can lock it inside 50, they're going to be quite hard to quite hard to beat. And you'll probably look for guys like Grimes, see what he can do too to lend a hand.
Where he's going to line up today. Paul said he was very flexible. And just before we do go to our final break, Daniel D'Esio is a ruckman who's not known for jumping best. And we said Taylor Hayton isn't either. So get ready to watch those two grapple at each other all day.
Real body on body job.
But it'll be a big clash because if D'Esio can win it and give Ferntree Gully first use, like I said, that might bring them ever closer in this one. We're hoping for a close game. I think we're all leaning towards Warrandyte, but as you said, Besto, at home, backs against the wall, stranger things have happened. So thanks for being on the pre-game, gentlemen. Stepping in was a bit of a unique one, obviously, in the Super Box here at Ferntree Gully. It's been a busy day already at Wally Tew. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, you would have already seen the Ferntree Gully women go down to the basin in a pretty interesting game of Premier B action. And after the break, we'll be on the SEN app on Eastern FM 98.1 on the EFNL Facebook and YouTube as we bring you all the action from Wally Tew as Ferntree Gully host Warrandyte.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website. yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve as we count down the minutes to the start of this one. We're about 10 minutes away from start in the big match this afternoon, the big third division clash between Ferntree Gully and Warrandyte. We've had a good chat to the two coaches and given our thoughts on what we think might happen as the game wears on. As we get into the commentary side of things, joining me shotgun this afternoon in commentary is going to be, my name is Brett Beston, by the way. Jared Beanland's going to be calling with me this afternoon. Jared, welcome to you, mate. Good to have you here.
No, thank you very much, Besto. It's going to be a fun one, I reckon, today. Looks like we should have a good game on our hands here. Ferntree Gully versus Warrandyte. Hopefully, as Matt was saying just before the break, Ferntree Gully can get on a bit of a run to start with, because I think that's going to be the main sort of the main way that they can start to take hold of this game is early. Out of the centre clearances.
You obviously, I don't know if you heard much of the pre-game, but obviously there's been one or two changes in the Ferntree Gully side, particularly Kieran Gray going out.
Indeed.
And we know that, as we've just found out, that Nick Woods is also not playing today. But so I was prepared at the start probably just to maybe tip Ferntree Gully at home, and on the basis that they've been going okay. But I've definitely changed my tip to Warrandyte. How do you see it?
Yeah, honestly, Kieran Gray going out really does suck a bit of the air out of the Ferntree Gully balloon, as it were. I was worried more so about, Gray going is worrying, obviously, but I was very worried about where the goals are going to come from for Ferntree Gully going forward. Definitely, they've got a couple of tools down there that are just new to the seniors. Jack Flannery, who's new to the club, in fact, and then also Hayden Harvey, who's just come from the under-19s. He seems pretty raw, Hayden Harvey. He does chip in the ruck as well sometimes, but I think the connection between the midfield and the forward line for Ferntree Gully just hasn't quite been there, and it showed in their game against Glen Waverley last week. So they had a lot of inside 50s, but not so many scoring shots.
Joining us on special comments too, you heard him on the pre-game show, and he'll be giving his expert opinion this afternoon too, is Ryan Long. Ryan, welcome to you.
Thank you, Besto. Yeah, no, it's great to be here. Obviously, I think it's a really important game for both clubs. Ferntree Gully really need a win. They need a bit of confidence. And as you were saying about the forward line, Jared, you wonder how much McInerney losing him from last year, if that has a big enough impact that their forward line structure is a bit thrown off. Obviously, Flannery's someone who can go down forward. That's someone they picked up, maybe not a like for like, but someone who can hit the scoreboard. But I think that's going to be the worry where Warrandyte, you just know they're going to be able to score when they need to with someone like a Phillips down there.
Yep.
Ferntree Gully probably got a bit of question marks, and if they don't find that scoring power, they may really fall behind early.
Yeah, they're going to need to find a lot of scoring shots, I think, from the midfield. It really does start from the midfield for Ferntree Gully, which is why I think Diesso, they really need two Diessos, because he can go forward and clunk a couple of marks as well, but that's the problem.
Can't be in two places at once.
Exactly.
Who will do the... when DC is not on the ruck, who's the second ruckman Ferntree Gully?
Flannery was actually the one that chipped in last week against Glen Waverley.
Okay.
So, and again, that's another problem of sort of not being able to be in two places at once, because I think Flannery needs a little bit more time forward to really sort of learn what the delivery is like from Ferntree Gully's midfield, because this is only his fourth game with them. He's apparently, from reports, he's a good player. He's only kicked 3 goals this year so far. So, I think that speaks to a bit of a disconnection.
Definitely. I think we talked about during the pre-game show, is Moss one of the new players in the Warrandyte side this year?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, come from Premier Division. So, yeah, that's a sort of experience you want to have. And obviously, from a Furniture Gully perspective, when you don't have Macomb here, it's a very young midfield, and that's the sort of, these are the sort of games that are really going to test them. But, I mean, as you said, there's, we've seen crazier things happen, and also this is the sort of game that can really turn a team season around if they can get up. And obviously Furniture Gully at home, if they were able to knock off a powerhouse in Warrandyte, who we all expect to be up there at the pointy end of the season, that will give them tremendous confidence going forward.
It will.
And if you want to look at their next block of games, they've got Scoresby next week, which is the winnable game. But then they fall in a bit of trouble when they play Waverley Blues, Don Vale. I think they've also got Coldstream, who's quite competitive too. So
those are some tough matches.
Yeah, some tough matches, and
they could end up like 1-6.
Yeah,
1-7.
That's the worry, because if they fall into a 1-7 season, their season's done. But it also then puts them, as we said before, in a chance for relegation, which is, at all circumstances they've got to try and avoid, because they're a better side than that, and that they belong in this division.
Yeah,
so
that's it. That's exactly it. Especially with the names that they have, It would be really strange to see Furniture Gully in Division 4, which we're getting ahead of ourselves here a little bit by projecting that far forward. But it does illustrate how important this game is here today.
Absolutely. Got to say a big welcome to the listeners coming in at 98.1 Radio Eastern, who have just joined us a few minutes ago for the call this afternoon. We'll be across Facebook and YouTube. If you want to watch the game this afternoon, you can watch it stream live and on 98.1 Radio Eastern, and of course live too on the SEN app. So plenty of ways to get your footy fix. If you're in the car, get the radio on. If you're at home, get in front of the computer and check all the action out this afternoon. So all right, so we've all, I think, pretty much agreed that we think Warrandyte are going to get the chocolates this afternoon.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping for a pretty close game. It's just, it's hard to tip against the class of Warrandyte at the moment. They're just probably, they haven't had the best starts of the year, but, they've been able to put some wins on the board, and I think they've just got a bit more talent.
A couple of newcomers in the commentary team this afternoon too. We'll be going boundary side shortly to catch up with Blake Tennant. Blake joins us to provide all the extra comments or expert comments from the boundary, and also joining us too, and this will be good because we need to have our eyes around the grounds and get all the scores. And Paul Uconi joins us. Paul, are you looking forward to your debut today?
Yes, I am, and yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we'll be crossing to you at different points of the afternoon, just getting all the various scores. And, of course, there's some other good games on around the ground. I haven't had a chance to have a look at some of the other games. What games caught your eyes, boys, and in terms of the other matches being played today?
Ooh. We'll have to...
Well, if we can look at Division 3 while we're here at the moment.
That's the way to go.
We touched on Coldstream, Glen Waverley, how important that is for both sides there. The other games... Waverley Blues, Scoresby, I think it's going to be pretty one-sided. But
I think that's
are Waverley Blues the side to beat at the moment, because they just have that many forward. They have that many options up forward, and they're such an attacking brand of football that it's going to really hold up in a finals.
Yeah, this is a heck of a comp, isn't it? I mean, it's so difficult to call. There's so many teams that could literally win it. It's really literally the flip of a coin.
Yeah, I really like Division 3 this year. I'm not going to lie, especially with teams like Coldstream and Whitehorse coming in. Well, obviously Whitehorse was already there, but they're a bolter this season. They can really cause some chaos, and it's those teams are coming up at sort of like at the expense of a team like a Furniture Gully, and a Scoresby as well, because Scoresby weren't terrible last year, but I think by most of our predictions, they're probably in the mix for relegation.
Yeah, exactly. And as we mentioned with Whitehorse, I mean, for so many years they've been so focused on Padbury up forward, and now that they've had, they've brought a lot of guys to the clubs from higher divisions, and they've brought up some really good talent from the 19s. They don't need to. They don't need him to kick 4 or 5 just to be within the game. They don't,
exactly,
which is really impressive. So they've definitely. I had them quite low, and I did cop a bit of slack on social media. So
what about a side like Coldstream? Now we saw them really dominate in Division 4 and look almost unbeatable. They come up to Division 3. They're going okay. Do you give them a realistic chance of shaking up a few teams before the season's end?
Yes, yeah. I think they have a shot at finals. Coldstream, honestly, being able to beat Warrandyte, I mean, that's a huge scalp. I don't know if they will quite make finals. I feel like I get the feeling that they might have sort of like hit the ground running in Division 3, come in shot out of a cannon, and may just sort of like peter out of lose a bit of momentum, I suppose, throughout the year potentially. But I still give them a shot at making the finals. Definitely, it'll be really interesting to see what happens. Who are they playing? Are they playing Donvale?
They're playing Glen Waverley today.
Glen Waverley. Okay. Home. Well, I'd give that to Coldstream.
I think that. Yeah. Yeah, obviously, I've liked Glen Waverley from what we've seen so far of them, despite not really getting on only the one win so far last week against Ferntree Gully. But I do think they're a much better side than a 1-2 record suggests. But obviously the big ground, that won't bother them too much. But I really do like Coldstream, and I think I had him as at fourth at the start of the season, just decided to sort of slip into the finals as a bit of a dark horse. And, we haven't seen that much of Darcy Fritsch yet. He's only kicked the 3 in the 2 games. So
he's been prolific, though. I still remember that day. We were there, obviously, but looking at the scores and doing the double take when he kicked 20 in one game.
Last year, yeah.
That must have been against Nunawading, was it? Or was it?
I think it was might have been Kilsyth.
Yeah, I thought it was Kilsyth.
Yeah.
It was I mean, that's the sort of player that,
20 goals in one game.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And his brother's a reasonably handy player as well.
Guys are right,
yeah. Wonder if he could get lower down to Coldstream. Just appearance in it help them, don't you?
Division 3 would be shaking in their boots if that were the case.
Yeah.
Honestly, Coldstream are looking quite good. Back to your earlier question about Waverley Blues, whether or not they're the team to beat. I'd honestly say at this point that they are. I wouldn't be shocked if they, at least take out the minor premiership. Yeah. Of course, finals are a different kettle of fish at the end of the day. But like Waverley Blues throughout the past couple of years, well, the start of this year and then last year, they've really shown what they're one of the premier teams in this division. They were a bit hot and cold last season, a bit feast or famine, almost a glass cannon of a team, all attack and were able to be controlled. But I think they especially showed in their game against Warrandyte this year that they can stick it with a very classy team.
And that was probably, not the conditions that would suit a Waverley Blues that day. They played him in that round 1 game where, I'm assuming it would have been pretty bad there weather-wise as it was at the Basin. A fair bit of rain. They're going to want a real clean game come finals. They're going to want the sun out because their scoring power is their big strength. So
exactly.
Well, that's the great thing, isn't it? Because we can, usually when the season, we sort of get, in an ideal world, you get 3 patches of the season. You get the early stages of the season, which we're getting a bit of an Indian summer, so it's quite nice at the moment. You'll get that middle part of winter. You'll get that middle part of the season when you're going to get probably wet and cold conditions. And then by the time we hit finals, if you're getting a nice spring, the weather's picked up again, the grounds are dry, so you're playing in sort of almost like 3 seasons for one of another expression, which makes it interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no, indeed. And I think that'll really suit Waverley Blues come finals time. If we do have a nice spring, obviously we can't project that far ahead. Should we go into other divisions?
I was going to ask you about. We saw that obviously Doncaster and Doncaster East play a week or so ago, but I'm looking at the Premier Division, and with the sort of, it's tough to call this now because we've been so used to Vermont dominating for the last couple of years, even though they haven't necessarily always won it. They've always been the side to beat, but they really aren't anymore, are they?
No, absolutely. Well, look, they keep getting it done. They got scared by Norwood. They got scared by Doncaster East. In both games, they had a couple of quarters where they let slip a large amount of goals, but they keep getting it done anyway, even with those lapses. Honestly, as they're trying to figure out how to play without a few of their star players that dropped out from them last year, I think Vermont have it's looking okay for Vermont. If they're able to scrap out these wins anyway, regardless of those sorts of troubles that they might be having.
Ryan, if someone had said to you at the start of the season that coming into round 3, Roval and Park Orchards would be the 2 top sides in the Premier Division, you probably would have had them committed, wouldn't you, to be honest?
I had Roval last, so that shows you how much I know. But look, they've been impressive, and I think my issues with them was probably more on a consistency basis when their VFL players come in and out. But if they can keep the side stable as they can, they can compete really well. But I think for me at the moment, it's probably still Baldwin and South Croydon probably is my two as maybe the leaders there, and I really like Noel Park from a defensive aspect. They were back, played a real good defensive game last week. Yep. They only allowed the 6 or 7 goals to Berwick. Obviously, Vermont has to be up there because you just can't count them out when they keep winning. They won the last 9 if you want to count last year as well. They just they never looked like the best side in the competition, but as you said, Jared, they just they're able to get the job done, and they're going to play finals. You would imagine with the top 6 and with guys like Lockie Johns are just are dominant in the midfield, and that's probably the difference from past years is that there's probably more of a reliance on a Johns or a Robbie Ross to really play well because they've got such a younger list now, and obviously Whale Buxton, another one that goes away over the off season. So it's a different looking side, but it's the same Vermont, and it's the club, the culture. You look at the women's; they're in the Premier Division too. Yeah, exactly. Their 19s are strong. Like they're just It's just one of those clubs that have just been strong forever on and off the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one that we can't forget about is Norwood.
So I was just going to mention because there has been quite a bit of talk about Norwood from the various pundits early in the season. So what are your expectations for them, Joe?
Well, I think their midfield's going to be their main strength. It'll be that's what really tipped me from tipping them over Noble Park for this game, this round. So, because Noble Park, their strength is definitely their midfield, but goodness me, coming up against Norwood, they've got some really strong players there. So I reckon that's where it's all going to start for them. They've also got they've got scoring power now without Spurrell, which is impressive. It's impressive that they've managed to find the sorts of goals that they've been getting without such a strong player up forward.
All right, so we might take a break at this point because the sides are starting. No, in fact, we won't take a break just yet. We'll just continue on for a moment. We can see the sides coming out onto the ground, and just one of the players below us in the twos has got the Mason Cox glasses on, boys. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. Yeah. I feel like maybe that's... See, I wear glasses. I don't like wearing contact lenses, and I think that might be the case for some people. That if they need glasses, but they prefer not to wear contact lenses.
I don't know. If I was playing, I'd just be a bit worried I was going to get. I mean, your glasses would. If someone gives you a decent whack in the eye, your glasses could shatter. But
I feel like they're sort of like sight goggles.
I still haven't got used to Mason Cox triple. Mind you, he's not exactly getting a lot of game time in Collingwood at the moment. No. But what do you make of him? This is going completely off topic a little bit. But
why not?
Has he sort of? Do you reckon he's kind of run his race because he had that one brilliant? Was it the grand final?
We've got a Richmond supporter right next to me, so I don't know if we can.
But do you think the experiment's kind of run its course?
That's a good question. As a Collingwood supporter, I hope not, because I do like him. He's a lot of fun, and he gets under people's skin as well.
Don't you reckon he looks a bit like when you see a baby giraffe, and they're sort of they're a bit gangly, and they
sometimes, and then sometimes he looks as sure as anyone in the AFL.
Sure.
All right. Well, like once or twice, I suppose. We're looking at the toss right now, though.
Okay, we're just going to... Sorry, Joe, we're just going to go to a quick break just before we lead into the big game this afternoon, and then we're back with all the action from the big clash this afternoon, Warrandyte and Ferntree Gully.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to say. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin.
To get underway in the big clash this afternoon, the third division clash out here at Wally Tew Reserve. The sun has come out, which is fantastic. It's Warrandyte against, and it's taken out nicely by Jalou. Gets a little handball over the top towards centre for half forward, on the feet there of Aiken, who twists and turns, goes to ground. Diving on it there was Verstegen for Warrandyte, and he wraps it up, and we'll have a ball up. So we talked about the early stages of this game and how important it was going to be for Warrandyte to get off to a good start as they... Fentry Galley, they get off to a good start as the ball is one out of the middle, knocked down into the clinches, and well and truly wrapped up. Good tackle coming in there by Skeen.
That was Skeen, yeah.
Skeen. So, as we say, always a bit of a filling out period. Up they go. There's the big man was first of many hit-outs today from Hayton. Knocks it down. It comes out. Kamira's there, but he can't get hands to it, and it's bouncing out towards the boundary line. And in fact, stays in over there. Awkward bounce. It's Patterson who gets the right foot kick inside, but it's chopped off nicely there by Powell, and he will rebound from half-back.
So we've got Powell here. Setsikos on the mark. We've had a whistle, and there's a man just sort of like down behind play on the arc there. Not sure what happened. Umpire stopped play. The medicos come out. We'll have a look at who that is in a sec. He's just coming off with his head in his hands. Not quite getting who that is. Blake, if you could, we've got Blake Tennant down on the boundary line today. If he can check that out for us, that would be amazing as we are getting set to go again here. I think we're just waiting for our bloke to vacate the field. Real unfortunate incident there so early on in the game for Warrandyte. And the whistle's gone again, so we're waiting on Warrandyte to kick the ball here. So down the line here to the contest, setting himself over the top. That was Sprouse, couldn't quite take the mark. It comes out to Patterson. Scooping the ball up away was Harper. He sends a kick out wide, inside forward 50 for Ferntree Gully. Taking it there was Flannery, the tall man. He passes it off. That was a good pass, a flying shot at goal for Ferntree Gully, but it has missed there.
Boundary.
And we'll go down to Blake Tennant on the boundary.
Yeah, just number one for Warrandyte. It looks like a head knock. Mitchell Buckley there. So the trainers are right now looking at it right now. Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Blake. So just coming out of defence for Warrandyte. It's been taken by Andrew White, a good intercept defender for Warrandyte. Long kick towards the wing there. It was nearly cut off by Sprouse, but he had to contend with a couple of Warrandyte players. Kick down. Heavy knock there by Young. We'll see if the Warrandyte bloke was okay as Ferntree Gully looked to escape defence again through McAleese and now Crocker. And Crocker's kick has been marked there. It's on the wing there for Ferntree Gully. Kaika, this is Ethan Kaika. It's his second game here for Ferntree Gully in the seniors. Long kick down towards the wing, and the umpires picked out a free kick. I think it's Flannery to take it here for the Eagles, searching for another entry. They've been good, Ferntree Gully, early. The SEO is down there. It was spoiled away from him. Delou gets the handball away. Good pressure by Warrandyte, though. And they're going to wrap it up here at centre half forward. Is the ball going to squeeze out to Skeen? I think it is, actually. He gets the handball away. That was well done by Skeen. So now the kick comes down to the wing. Young has come up to meet it. Double fists it down to himself. He's against two here, Young. He's going to have to find a way out. Otherwise, it might be holding the ball. No, Brooking was there to scoop it away. Great tackle laid by Harper, and we'll have a ball up there over there on the wing.
So plenty of action in the early stages of this game. Not much scoring, just the one behind, but it's all go as the ball goes into the ruck. Getting his hand on there was Harvey. 3 goals for him so far this season, so he'll be an important member of the side today, particularly with no Gray there, as it's knocked out of bounds on the far side, and the lady in the chair just managed to get out of the way in the nick of time. Over on the far side, she almost fell off a chair, I think. So we get the umpire to throw the ball up once again, and it's an easy one for Harvey. This time he knocks it down, but it falls to Warrandyte, and they get it forward. Phillips, is he up there somewhere trying to get his hands on it? Not at the moment, but he will be a key player in this match today. Jaden Brown couldn't quite get to it, and it's a free kick, in fact, so a little chip inside for Ferntree Gully. Mark taken there by Waldron, and here they come, Ferntree Gully. They've got off to a reasonable start. Everyone riding them off in the early stages of this game. Nice kick across half-back, and here they go. Getting it out towards the wing. Mark taken there by Bull. He'll be a key component in this side today. Gets a little kick for. This is good from Ferntree Gully. McLeish goes inside 50. Can he hit a target? But brilliantly done. Getting back there. Number 51 is Paul today. He's in a jumper change, and he will rebound off half-back, and the kick out towards the big man, who can't quite take it there. That was Hayden, but the ball goes on the ground, spilling around, trying to get it there was Harvey. Couldn't do so. Now it's in the hands of Harvey. He finally gets his hands on it. And a little kick, and they're off to the races here as the ball goes into the hands of number 42. We don't have
Moss.
And the shot from Moss, and it's gone through by the looks. Just wait for the umpire to confirm it. It has. So that's the first goal of the game. Terrific start there from Warrandyte, and they get the first goal of the game, and they lead by 1 goal to 1 behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, it was tough. They got opened up on then Ferntree Gully, but their ball movement's been okay. The Eagles. It was just sort of that last kick inside 50. They haven't been able to hit the target yet, and then transition well. Warrandyte, as they said, Paul said at the start of the game, they like to attack from half-back, and it's exactly what they did then, and was able to get plenty of space.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit troublesome for Ferntree Gully with their targets up forward, as we said before the game, but they've brought in Ricky Aitken as a second tall, I think. So we're back in the middle here. So Harvey goes into the ruck. He's tapped it down. Skeen couldn't quite trap it. Brooking couldn't either. Great tackle. I think that was Brooking laid that one, but the umpire's going to come in and ball it up. So we've got Cox in the number 10 there going into the centre for Ferntree Gully. That was another jumper change early on. So we're just waiting for the umpire to ball this up. We've got Hayton against Harvey once again in the ruck. Good punch by Harvey straight down to Delu. Scrambles a kick forward. Good follow-up work there by the Eagles. They get it off to Kaika. Can he take a shot at goal from there from 40 out? I reckon he can. What a goal by Kaika.
Yeah, brilliant kick then. They've been much better going inside 50 that time, and Kaika's one to really look out for today. Son of the coach.
So
he's been in the good books early.
Yeah. Good job by Kaika, and it was a good punch by Harvey as well out of the ruck. The young man's looking pretty solid in the ruck as they've moved D'Essio, I think, down forward.
So back in the middle, it was good to see Kaika have the courage too and the conviction to go for home, because he was a fair way up, but he had the courage to back himself, and he fired well. And Ferntree Gully with an early lead in this game as the ball goes into the middle. Up they go for it. It's the big man Hayton who gets the hit out today. He really is a monster, but it's won there by Ferntree Gully. That was Flannery. Nice little handball, but he lost it. And Warrandyte come forward, but there's a whistle. And is it going to be advantage? Looks like it is. Advantage play to Brown. Brown goes long to full forward. Mark almost taken over there, juggled there by, I think it was Young, and they get it out, but the whistle's gone. And it looks like it's hit the boundary post by the looks.
Yeah.
As we go boundary side with our new man down there, Blake Tennant. Blake, welcome.
I've just got some news about Warrandyte. Number 1, Mitchell Buckley has just gone down into the rooms for the head knock, so I'll get back to you shortly about more details about that.
Okay, so it sounds like he's going down to do a concussion test, so we'll have to wait for a little while to see how that transpires. In the hands of Crocker now as they bring it out Ferntree Gully. Not a great kick, though, but it should have been marked there by White, but he couldn't take it. It's on the ground, and eventually it's out of bounds over there on the far side. So Good even start to this one. Just one goal apiece so far, 7-6. It's Fentry Gully leading. Up there goes Harvey, wins it from the head out. Ball goes to ground. That was Jalou getting taken to the ground. Good strong tackle on him. Lively customer is Jai Jalou. He's been good so far this season. And in fact, it's a free kick by the look, so it's going to be in the hands of Warrandyte.
Yeah, Mitch Morris.
And Mitch Morris to bring it forward.
So, mark taken by Phillips. Well, that was a good spot-up kick by Mitch Morris. Just saw a little bit of space in front of Phillips. And the leading goal kicker from last year for Warrandyte can go back and see if he can slot the second for the game for the Bloods.
They're probably just going to have to find someone to get in front there.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have a look at who's on Mitch Morris for today as he comes in. And I think he's scored it. Yes, he has. And that's the second goal for Warrandyte here. Phillips. He's done well.
Well, they had plenty of players around in that area, but yeah, no one sort of just got into the space. And if you give Phillips that much room to lead into, he's going to be hard to stop today.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like, was it Sproul's down on Phillips? I think it might be. I think that's who we sort of expected to go to Phillips before the game. I think it was either going to be him or Young.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they stick with Sproul or if they look to sort of play a 2 or 3 players on him, switch him around.
Yeah, we'll look for the loose back there for Fentry Gully. See if they employ that sort of a tactic. So back into the centre, we've got Hayton taps it down, but it's been sharked by Brown. That was Jaden Brown. Out in the middle by Cox. That was a good mark taken by Bull on the wing. Alex Bull kicks it down towards the left half forward for Fentry Gully. Good mark taken there. He's looking for some options. He's a little unsure. What do they have? Front and centre. Punched down by Warrandyte, but scooped up. That was well done by Gasparoni, who takes a flying shot at goal, but it was too far left. Now let's go down to Blake Tennant.
Just got some massive news here from Warrandyte. Mitchell Buckley is now ruled out of the game due to concussion. Back to you.
And we've also got around the ground scores with Paul Iaconi.
Score from Premier Division, Bowen 1-1-7 lead, Berwick 1 behind.
So that's some good Premier Division action there.
So big news with Buckley getting ruled out of the game, so that will throw a spanner in the works, but I'm sure Warrandyte will be able to adapt as they bring the ball back in. They kick forwards, in fact it falls straight into the hands there of Saunders. He wasn't really expecting it, but he did all right. Gets a kick forward to half foot. Beautiful mark taken over there by Buckley. He lost his footing, but he's got himself back on his feet again as he goes to full forward, trying to hit a target. Where's the big man Phillips? Couldn't get there. In fact, that was Buckley, so I must have been someone else with the ball, but never mind.
It was Phillips you were looking for?
It was Phillips trying to get.
Phillips looking for Phillips.
Phillips looking for Phillips. He's in 2 places at once. He's a good player, but he's not that good as the umpire gets ready to throw it up again. Up they fly. Good win there by Harvey. He's been good in the ruck early for Fentry Gully, and the ball over there on the far side of the field. It's in the hands of Fentry Gully, but the whistle's gone, and we'll have a free kick, I would say. Just waiting to, free kick to Fentry Gully, so they will bring the ball back in. So it's Warrandyte by 4, little chip down the line, nice mark taken as they just slow, methodical build-up for the Eagles, taking a bit much time though. Little kick in board now, nice mark taken there by Kaika, the son of the coach, having his, I believe, his second game today. Wearing the headband, not hard to spot, goes down the ground, almost a mark taken there by Brown, did almost got his hands on it. Now it's back in the head towards the... it's on the ground, there to be contested. Diving on it, there was a Warrandyte player. I can't quite see who that is at the bottom of that. But it is, in fact, Phillips. And the umpire says it's a free kick. So taken by Crocker. Kicks across the face of goals, right across to the far side of the ground. Mark taken there by Fentry Gully as they bring the ball out. Nice mark again taken there. Is that Gasparoni over there? Can't quite see. A little chip down the line. They've been quite methodical with their build-up, Fentry Gully, just chipping it around, and they're hitting targets, which is good for them. But maybe something that Warrandyte have to think about getting some players on as the kick is intercepted by Grimes, and Warrandyte will rebound.
So we've got a kick out of defence for Warrandyte. It's been taken by Josh Appleby, one of the ins here today for Warrandyte. He kicks it down the wing, and this is Brooking looking for some inside options. He hasn't quite found one. Hayton was there, but it was actually a good mark taken instead by Prilorenzo. Prilorenzo, now he goes inside, biting off the 45. Well, it was intercepted by, I think that was Gasparoni. Whistle's been blown, and I think it was a mark to Gasparoni. So turnover there by Warrandyte. So the ball movement hasn't been quite as precise as Fentry Gully, which is not what I had expected at the start of the game. Gasparoni goes to a bit of a 2-on-1 situation there for Fentry Gully. Running onto it, it's Sertzikos. He hands the ball back to Aitken. Aitken goes the flying shot inside forward 50. Another 2-on-1 situation. Kaika has to beat those two. He laid a good tackle and it was holding the ball. Well done, Brett Kaika. He's had a great start to this game. So he's a kick and a half from goal. Short kick to Diesso, but there was a man in front there. That was very well done. Well marked by Josh Beasley down the back there for Warrandyte as he's searching for options. Can Warrandyte escape from this defensive situation? He hands it off. Now the kicks come to Andrew White. Andrew White searching for an option on the wing. Burking couldn't quite take the mark. Well, he's recovered well, tackled, however, by Patterson. He's recovered it again. He recovered his own handball, snapped it along the ground. It's been taken there by Warrandyte. It's come out to Saunders. There was a free kick blown. Advantage taken. That was well done. It was Skeen who took the advantage. Flying shot at goal. Not quite. And let's go to the boundary line.
I've got more injury news for Warrandyte. Number 34, Mitchell Morris. He's come down with an ankle injury at the moment. It's testing at the moment. More injury news as well. It's pretty bad. They're getting their work covered down here by the trainers of Warrandyte. Back to you.
So bad news for Warrandyte as we go across to Paul Yuconi. He's in the school centre for us this afternoon. Paul, what have you got?
In First Division, Montrose lead 1-1-7 over Upper Ferntree Gully, yet to score. And in Third Division, Glen Waverley lead 3 behinds over Coldstream, who are yet to score. Waverley lead 1-6 over Scoresby, who are also yet to score.
Great stuff. Thanks, Paul. Fantastic job, and he's making his debut in the score centre this afternoon. As Fentry Gully bring it out, it's in the hands of Flannery. He goes long, trying to hit a target, but it's not going to find anyone in particular. And it's going to be a free kick. Looked like a bit of holding there. And it's going to go the way of number 22, Beasley, Josh Beasley for Warrandyte. Goes out wide. It's a nice kick, and here they come. So Warrandyte, they can come forward again. Made a good start to this game. Dropped there by Crocker, probably a mark he should have taken, but it's worked out for Fentry Gully, and they go inboard. Mark is taken. Hope you're enjoying this one. Of course, coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube, and also on 98.1 Radio Eastern, and of course on the SEN app this afternoon as Fentry Gully go forward. Kick out towards the wing, goes over the head there. I think it was Harper. And they've still got the possession of the football, though, as the ball goes inboard. That's Flannery. He's had a few touches in the early stages, played quite well as he goes inside 50, trying to hit a target. But it's nicely chopped off over there by Beasley. He's been all right out towards the boundary. And won't keep it as we go boundary side, and Blake Tennant is down for us.
Yeah, Mitchell Morris is about to come on the ground, so all clear, guys. Back to you.
Certainly a sigh of relief. They had the 2 injuries in round 1 in the first 5 minutes, so obviously they've been a bit unlucky, and Buckley out hurts.
Yeah, indeed. So good to hear that Morris will be making his way back into the field very soon. So it was a kick down the ground there for Warrandyte, scooped up by Brooking. He was tackled out of it, however, and I think it might be holding the ball. Advantage taken now by Fentry Gully. Tertsikos gets the handball down. This is Harper, flies it on to Flannery. He couldn't take it. Verstegen attacks it well from half back. Brooking crashes in, but he crashed into 3 Fentry Gully players and will have a ball up. Good endeavour, of course, by Brooking, as always. Well, that might have hurt him there. Nakota Brooking. He's looking okay, though, as we'll go for this ball up. Hayton in the ruck there, going up against Diesso, the big ruckman for Fentry Gully, ever present there. It's trickled out towards the wing. Skeen laid a tackle, but it's going to go over the boundary line. Not much that Patterson could do about it. We've had a good fast start to this game, haven't we? It's been good ball movement. In fact, actually, it's been a free kick to Fentry Gully, I beg your pardon. So kick down towards their forward line, but it stayed too tight to the boundary line, and it was actually out in the full. So here we go again with Toby Verstegen to take the kick in, or to handball it off, in fact. And he's gone to Clark, who winds up, kicks it down the wing. Big hands over the top, not quite taken there. I think it might have been Buckley. It's a scrap there on the wing. Not much happening from there because it's been wrapped up there. Not much that I think it was Saunders could do. So another ball up here. punch there down by Adieso, trying to find some space there for Ferntree Gully to get the ball moving again. Whistle's gone, and it's a free kick this time to Warrandyte, and it's Toby Verstegen to go on with it. He hands it off. That was good stuff by him. Kennedy, high ball down the line. It bounces towards the forward line for Warrandyte. It was scooped up by Brooking out to Jelly. He tries to handball it on. It came to Grimes. Good stuff by them. And it was nearly marked there by Clark. He couldn't quite reel it in, however. And Nakota Brooking was wrapped up and will have another throw up in the pocket for Warrandyte.
So they'll be lively both sides, but Warrandyte at the moment on attack and leading on the scoreboard as well by 13-8. And we've had about 18 and a half minutes gone in this first term, so still plenty of time to go as the ball is on the ground. Now it comes out, and in fact Ferntree Gully get the opportunity to come forward. And it's in the hands of Saunders. Saunders goes inboard, trying to find a target. Oh, big tackle. That might be, well, it's a high tackle, but he's taken the mark anyway, so it's all academic. At White it was who took it. And a little bit of after the ball stuff there. One or two players coming in to put their 2 cents worth in. Chimera goes across the half-back line. And here they come again, calling for some players to go forward as Harper. He's got no one to kick to, but he gets his kick in the end. It was Deleu over there who couldn't quite take it. And the umpire's played possibly a free kick anyway. So now the free kick is played. It's play on. It's Flannery gets a kick out to the far side. Nicely in the hands there of Harper. Harper goes down the line, trying to hit a target. But the only target he hits is a Warrandyte player, and the Warrandyte side will be able to rebound off half-back. So this is in the 20th minute of this first quarter, and Warrandyte in front by 5 points. But it's been a pretty even quarter so far. That man's had a good game so far. Flannery, as the ball comes out. Long kick forward, plenty of defenders there. And that's someone's gone, one of the Warrandyte players taking a very heavy hit. I think it might be possibly Saunders. We'll wait for him to get up. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up. Just watching so free kick. Very heavy hit there. It was
Andrew White who went down. It was
too, Andrew White. He hit the ground pretty hard, but I'm sure he's just stunned, and I'm sure he'll be okay to continue in just a moment.
And so Saunders it was from the wing, kicks it out to Brooking. He says, come at me. So into the centre, it's Moss. He's going to take the mark and run on with it. Spearing ball inside forward 50. Can Phillips take the mark? Yes, of course he can against 2 Ferntree Gully defenders. So he's going to go back and see if he can slot his second and Warrandyte's third. And so Ferntree Gully, they've been attacking well, but it's just fallen down around the half forward mark. And so this is the contrast here with Warrandyte. They've got it forward relatively few times, but Phillips can go back and slot the goal. They've been efficient, Warrandyte. Well done, Phillips. And we'll go around the grounds here with Paul Iaconi.
In Premier Division, South Croydon lead 4-1-25 to Park Orchards, yet to score.
Oh, that's a big start there for the Bulldogs.
Nasty.
It's that transition from halfback again that they make it look easily, and obviously when you've got a target like Phillips up, that really helps. But Ferntree Gully, on the other hand, it's really just that last kick inside 50. They haven't got a target. I don't think they've taken a mark inside 50 to allow them to have a set shot yet.
We did talk about that during the the pre-game show, that they were going to struggle to find a target up forward, and that's how it has worked out so far. So Warrandyte by 11 as the umpire gets us back underway. Might have been Warrandyte who won the tap on that occasion with Buckley, and the whistle goes as it's taken by Warrandyte, but the umpire sees no chance of it coming out of there, and we'll throw it up. So 21 and a half minutes played in this first term. D'Iso wins the tap that time for Ferntree Gully. Juggling with it there was Brown. Now they go forward, trying to hit a target, but it's not. Here's an opportunity, fall into the hands of Harvey, but he's had his kick smothered. It's there to be won, though, on the ground. Trying to get hands on it was Callisperis. He hasn't done much in this first quarter, and eventually the whistle goes, and the umpire says we'll ball it up. So dangerous position here. Ferntree Gully could really do with a goal before quarter time just to keep themselves in touch. And another whistle, so the umpire says no, not happy with that at all. We're going to do it again. So what chance a Ferntree Gully goal here. Up they fly. They won the tap through Harvey, and now it's out towards the wing. Still there on the ground, but it's been roved by Warrandyte, and they'll bring it away, so the chance is gone for the moment. Juggling in there was Bull, but it's still there for Ferntree Gully, and they come inside 50 again. Where's the target? You can see there's about 3 players there on one. Harvey it was, but he was completely outnumbered. Here's an opportunity, and I think they might have a goal.
Oh, that was great.
We're just going to see who the player is that gets up.
Sertzikos.
Callisperis, Sertzikos.
I heard Sertzikos from across the room.
Okay, so Sertzikos it is. It was looking like there was nothing on there, but Sertzikos, Johnny on the spot, and he just got his hands on it there. There was Warren, probably about 3-on-1, really, to be honest. He did very well to get his hands on it, and he's poked it through. So there is the goal we were speaking about, and a much-needed goal for Fentry Gully with about 23 minutes played in the first term. It's Warrandyte 3-1-19 and Fentry Gully 2-2-14 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And a smart handball by Joe Deleuze, just to be able to be aware that he had a player open in the square and just able to get the hands over the top.
So we've got the tap down from Diesso. It's been roved there. It was McAleese onto it by Fentry Gully, but it's absolutely stacked on the mill. Well, the ball's come out, unlikely as it was. Well done by Hayton there. I think it was wrapped up. Well done by Warrandyte in general. So it's looking that we've got another ball up here. Hayton.
Just while we're waiting for that, we'll just pop across to Paul, who's in the score centre, just while we're waiting for play to continue.
In Premier Division, Blackburn lead 3 straight, 18 over Doncaster, 2-2-14. Bowen lead 3-2-20 over Berwick, who have kicked 1 behind.
And thank you, Paul. So we've got another ball up there, just at the crook of the 50 in the boundary line for Warrandyte. Going up in the ruck, Hayton versus Diesso. Hayton used his strength that time. That was good. It's come down Skeen at the bottom of the pack. That was a good tackle, though, by Fentry Gully to wrap it up. It was Diesso, in fact, the big ruckman who laid that tackle. That was, good pressure by him. So Diesso versus Hayton again. Hayton got the tap down once more, punched it forward into the pocket, and McAleese just saw it go over the boundary line for Fentry Gully once again. So ball in the pocket for Warrandyte, as we're just waiting for things to start again. Good tap down that time by Phillips. It was in the ruck, and a tackle there by Morris back onto the field after that suspected ankle injury. That was well done. And we'll have another ball up there. It was Kaika at the bottom of that. We've only got a minute left to play in this quarter. Looking over to Saunders and now Moss. Good evasion by Moss. Check side on the right. And a big mark by Phillips. That was excellent vision by Moss to see the long sleeves of Phillips in the centre of the 50 there for Warrandyte. And strong hands. Once again, Ryan Phillips, can he go back and slot his third? And this really is the difference here. Phillips really is the difference maker. He's the option up forward for Warrandyte. And he's who they've found each time they've gone forward. Deliberate approach here for Ryan Phillips. Straight kick, straight through the middle. Warrandyte get their fourth. And they go up 4-1-25 to Fentry Gully 2-2-14 with just a few seconds left to play in this first quarter.
Well, that's really just been the difference in the end, that sort of big target up forward. And, they're struggling. I think that was Waldron that was on him that time, but they're probably struggling to find the right matchup. And, it's going to be tough. I think you just have to start bringing another person in front of him and go on a 2-on-1, because the 1-on-1 contest, especially when he gets enough room to lead on, he's just too hard to beat.
He's not the biggest forward around either, Ryan.
No,
Phillips, is he? Which I was just looking at him before, and he's quite he's stocky and he's quite solid, but he's not one of the biggest guys going around. As the ball goes back into play, Diesso wins it, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
But he's very athletic, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's probably more of the sort of the more modern, I guess, key forward rather than the old-fashioned. As the ball is won by Warrandyte out of the middle, as they go forward, Fentry Gully won't want to concede here, particularly after getting the last one themselves. And they get a little handball out there. Trying to pick it up was Deleu, put his head down and goes into the tight stuff. And he's wrapped up as the siren goes. So pretty interesting first term here. And Warrandyte, well, they've got their noses in front, but Fentry Gully, courtesy of that late goal, have just stayed in touch. It's Warrandyte 4-1-25 to Fentry Gully's 2-2-14. Major goal kickers on the ground. We've got Phillips, who has 2 singles to Morris and Moss for Warrandyte, and for Fentry Gully, the 2 goals for Kalisperis and Kaika. Boys, quick comment on the first term?
Well, yeah, as we've said, Phillips is the difference maker, and Fentry Gully, as I suspected, struggling to find a target forward, unfortunately.
All right, let's go to a break and we'll come back and have some more analysis of this first term out here at Wally Tew Reserve. Back shortly.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, Why, yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing kickboxing personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo, and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
EFL Saturday game day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
So welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve. We're just in the quarter-time break of this big third division clash, and pretty enjoyable stuff. And of course, it's been so far. We thought that Ferntree Gully may have the edge in this one, but Warrandyte might have the edge in this one. But Ferntree Gully have held in quite nicely. And of course, I hope you're enjoying the coverage too across on Facebook and YouTube, and also on 98.1 Radio Eastern and the SEN app. Jared Beanland is my co-commentator this afternoon. My name is Brett Best. And Jared, your thoughts on that first quarter? It was pretty interesting stuff.
It was. Look, Ferntree Gully's ball movement has actually been quite good. Warrandyte's been good as well, but a little bit below that of Ferntree Gully. But it's going forward for Ferntree Gully. That last kick inside 50 has been the troublemaker for them. And let's go down to the boundary line with Blake Tennant.
Yeah, just got Warrandyte coach Paul Donohoe. How do you see the first quarter? How did it go for you?
Okay, I thought they outnumbered us a little bit early on, and our mids were probably a little bit lacking in our defence, but we managed to pick it up a bit. And once we got running, Jake Moss coming through there, I thought that worked really well for us.
How big is an impact having Ryan Phillips and Jake Moss on your side?
Yeah, great. I mean, I think Buckets might have kicked 2 or 3 there or something, but Mossy running in is providing a really good kick into that 50, so it's brilliant. It's working well.
Any injury news?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're 2 down already. The year that we've had just continues. We're just going to throw them around, ask the boys for an effort to stick with it now. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Hopefully no more.
Yeah. All the best, mate. Back to you, boys.
Great job, Blake. That's going to be significant. I mean, we already know that Buckley's out of the game, but 2 down, and that's going to test the, particularly early in the season. I guess it depends on what sort of pre-season you've had, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously he said, how unlucky they've been in that first round. They lost 2 in the first 5 minutes. Buckley goes out straight away, and that's a bit of a depth in the midfield now that makes it a little bit more even. But it gives Ferntree Gully a bit more of a chance. I thought they were pretty good with, Delu is quite impressive. I thought Kaikin, just his second game, is, played really well in that first quarter and gave them some opportunities. But it's just going to be a bit clean. They've just got to be a bit cleaner going forward. And, that may be, if they can get that right, be able to hit some targets, they're going to be well and truly in this game.
Yeah, I like Delu's game as well. I thought he was pretty good. Jared, Fantry Gully, they've managed to keep themselves in this game. Do you see it? You've just got the feeling that Warrandyte might eventually run away with this. Do you think they can stay in the game without that key forward and that big target up forward?
Yeah, I honestly like the move of Dieso going forward. He's going forward right now, and we've got Harvey, the young man, Hayden Harvey, in the ruck here for Fantry Gully. So I reckon Dieso, if he can clunk a couple, then he could provide a decent foil for Phillips down the other end.
All right, well, all will be revealed as we get started for the second half, and Jared's going to bring us in.
All right, so as we said, Harvey in the ruck once again. So Morris couldn't quite take it there for Warrandyte, so it's Delu onto it, paddling it forward. That was good work. It's picked up by Calisperis. Back to Delu. He hasn't quite taken clean possession as Morris crashes in, and we'll have another ball up there just near the arc for Fantry Gully. So decent start there for Fantry Gully. Got the clearance, and Delu onto it as well. So up goes Harvey once again. It's been knocked down to, I think that might be McAleese. No, at the bottom of that was the other one man with long sleeves, Calisperis for Fantry Gully. Another ball up. Good tap down by Hayton that time for Warrandyte, but it's going to come back to Fantry Gully once again. This is Harper, I think. Kick down towards Aitken, who's taken the mark but was worried out of it by the defender there.
Nice.
Brilliant pickup by Flannery, but excellent defending there by Warrandyte coming across there.
Geez, he'll be disappointed with that, Flannery. That was a huge opportunity, but good defence. But great pickup and a little jink.
Just quickly, it was Powell with the defence there that was good.
Yeah, I think he wonders if he almost took it a bit too easy there, Flannery. Thought he had a bit more time than he did. But nonetheless, 10-point margin, 25 plays 15 as Warrandyte bring the ball back into play. The long kick straight down the middle of the ground. Got plenty on it too. Harvey was up there, knocks it down. Chasing through there and doing well was Young. Sorry, it wasn't Young, it was Clark. Now that'll kick up the line, batted down there by Hayton. Now they go forward again, Warrandyte. Can someone get on the end of that? Only a Fantry Gully player. And it's Patterson now who goes long inside 50. Trying to hit a target. That's the problem they're going to be having all day. No real target up there. Flannery was there trying to get his hands on it, but it's rebounded nicely. And Warrandyte will bring it away through Powell. And the mark taken. Is that Brooking back there? I think
Looks
it is.
like it, yep.
So Brooking. Little chip out towards the wing. That's nicely done. So this is good from Warrandyte. Just building it up, just chipping it around. Just taking their time to try and find something for it. Beautiful mark taken over there on the far side by, I think that's Phillips.
Yeah.
Phillips wheels around onto the right, goes long. Almost taken there. Good effort by Brooking it was, but the ball goes to ground and they'll rebound through, I think it's Harper over there. It's Chimera. Couldn't quite get hands on the ball, and it's bouncing towards that far side of the ground, and it goes out. So 10-point margin at the moment. It's Warrandyte 4-1-25 to Fantry Gully's 2-3-15 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Ball in on the wing, almost taken right out of the ruck there by the Warrandyte ruckman Hayton, sorry. So picked up there by Skane. He was worried out of it though, and it's just gone over the boundary line. Fantry Gully were able to make up some territory through that passage of play, but without clean possession, unfortunately. Ball in. So Hayton once again against Harvey. Now at that time he does just take it straight out of the ruck. The handball was ineffective as it came to Delu. Tapped along there by Fantry Gully. That was well done. Crashing to ground. That was Pentland. So we've got a bit of a scrum there on the wing. It's going to be another ball up. Let's go over to Paul in the score centre.
In the Premier Division, Bowen lead 5-2-32 over Berwick, 3 behinds. South Croydon lead 8-1-49 over Park Orchards, 1 straight 6. Rowville lead Norwood 2-5-17 over Norwood, 2-1-13. Doncaster East lead 2-2-14 over North Ringwood, 1-3-9.
Thank you, Paul. So Clark with the free kick gets it forward inside 50. Can't really hit a target now. Brooking gets a handball out, or tries to get a handball out to one of his teammates, but overrunning it there was Clark. Now Fantry Gully to rebound in the hands there of Young. Here they come forward, Fantry Gully. Long kick down the wing. Can they hit a target? Bouncing towards the boundary line over there. It's still in. There's tap forward there by Gasparoni, but in the end he can't keep it in, and it's out of bounds. So 10-point margin at the moment, 25-15, and the early stages of this second term as we go to the score centre, and we'll catch up with Paul with some scores.
In Division 1, East Ringwood lead 5-1-31 over Beaconsfield 4 behinds. Moorbark lead 6-3-39 over Lilydale 4-1-25. Upper Ferntree Gully lead 3-18 over Montrose 1-8, and Wanturna South lead 4-1-25 over Croydon 3-5-23.
Thank you, Paul. So it was edged forward there a little bit by Ferntree Gully, but a hack forward by Hayton from the ruck. It fell to Morris, but he was wrapped up well by DeLu. So we'll have another throw up there near the arc. Diesso contested the ruck this time for Ferntree Gully. Kaiko is in there, but it was Morris burying himself on the bottom of the pack once more. And we'll have yet another ball up there. It's just gained a little bit of meterage for Warrandyte. Let's go back to Paul.
In Division 2, Ringwood lead 5-6-36 over Oakley District 4, 3-18, and Mulgrave lead 4-7-31 over Heathmont 1-17.
So it just went out of bounds on the full there for it was a Ferntree Gully kick.
I hope the owner of that four-wheel drive, he's got good insurance. He might need it after that.
I think that might be the second time it got hit today. It happened in the women's as well. So Verstegen handed it off to Poole. Long kick forward onto the wing. It's going to be swallowed up here by Kaika, and he was swallowed up by a Warrandyte man in the tackle there. So just quickly again, Hayton, he's going up in the ruck there, but it was a good punch there by Ferntree Gully, forcing it forward. Yeah, good attack there on the ball by Ferntree Gully as Bowden couldn't do much with it, and it's gone back over the line. Let's go to Paul.
In Division 3, Glen Waverley lead 1-4-10 over Coldstream 1-3-9. Donvale lead 3-5-23 over Fair Park 2-2-14. And Scoresby lead 2-2-14 over Waverley Blues 2-1-13. And in Division 4, Sylvan lead 6-2-38 over Surrey Park 1 behind. Forest Hill lead 6-1-36.
And we'll just cut you off there, Paul. Sorry, a fantastic goal there taken by number 15, Quinn Clark. Just got possession of the ball. He took off like a greyhound, really, and just fired it into the open goal. And that is a terrific goal. So Quinn Clark with his first of the day, and that extends the Warrandyte lead. Not a great start for Ferntree Gully. They would have been hoping to score first, but that margin now out to 16 points, 5-1-31 to 2-3-15 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, very impressive kick. And Ferntree Gully just couldn't go back with them as soon as they probably control the play in their forward half of the ground for a good few minutes. But as soon as Warrandyte get their ball movement going, they're quite hard to stop. And just like that, that's a really good finish.
So back into the centre, tapped down by Hayton. Once more, it falls to DeLu. So the centre work for Ferntree Gully imperative, and it was DeLu sharing it with Harvey. And now it's come to nothing, really, as Warrandyte scoop it away once more. It's come to Saunders here on the wing. No, not Saunders, it's Clark, the goal kicker from just before. He's searching for some options up forward. He's got Brooking on there at half forward. It went a little bit far for him, but of course it was Phillips that takes the mark. In fact, it was Bowden, not Brooking, who looked to take it early, but Phillips came late. Strong hands once more, and he can go back and possibly slot his fourth for the game, and he's looking like he's getting off the leash here against Ferntree Gully. He comes in, he's going to kick from about 40 out, I would judge. I reckon he's got the distance in him. He reckons he does too, and why not with a kick like that? Ryan Phillips once again. Fourth goal, fourth from set shots, and Warrandyte sixth as they go up 6-1-37 to Ferntree Gully 2-3-15.
And it's unlucky. Young probably had the right position, was in front, and body-wise just couldn't match it. And Phillips, that's probably the hardest one of the 4 goals that he's kicked so far.
Is it time to make a change, Ryan? Because he's starting to get off the leash, isn't he? 4 goals today.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to completely change the structure, your defensive lineup. I think you've got to throw 2 on him in every contest because he's just been able to mark the ball so easily.
So Diesso wins it out of the middle, goes and roves his own tap, and in fact he's going to get it for a 3rd time. That's quite miraculous. And he even makes a tackle as well on Harvey, on Saunders, who goes to ground. Still there on the ground to be in contest. And the umpire says we'll ball it up. So it's margin out to 22 points now. So it's just starting to get a little bit away from Ferntree Gully. Far from out of it, but they'll need to to strike back and get some scoreboard pressure on soon. There's the ball back into Iso, gets the hit out. Rove nicely. So here they come, Ferntree Gully. A nice little kick down the line there. Can they hit a target? That's the most important thing. It's out on the full. So that'll be a free kick going the way of number 51, Paul. Paul goes inboard, and here they come again, Warrandyte. They seem to just have a bit more run off half back as the ball goes to ground. Falling nicely there into the hands of Clark, who kicked the last goal. But it's Ferntree Gully who again rebound. Nice little handball there. And here they come, Ferntree Gully. This is better as they go forward, trying to hit a target. But it's a terrible kick. Nicely chopped off there by Harper. Some of their kicking efficiency hasn't been that flash. Goes forward towards the edge of the 50-metre mark. On the ground, trying to pick it up there was Cox. And here they come again, Ferntree Gully. Can they find a target this time? This has been letting them down, particularly in this quarter. And they've done it again, just turning it over, and now it's in the hands of Beasley, who brings it forward towards the far side of the ground, and it's probably going to beat everyone on the ground. They have it again, the handball inside to Brown. They've just got to start hitting some targets, otherwise they're never going to get themselves back into this game. Another long kick forward, but again, the mark isn't taken, and it's gone through for a minor score. And so the margin reduced by a point, but it's Warrandyte still in control, 6-1-37, playing 2-4-16 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Let's quickly go to the score centre with Paul.
I'll just finish off those Division 4 scores. So Forest Hill leading 6-1-37 over Nunawading 2-2-14, and Kilsyth leading 5-2-32 over Croydon North 1-3.
Well, it was a turnover from the kick in there, straight down the throat of Riley Pentland, and we'll see if he has the distance in him. Gee, that was a poor turnover from the full back kick in by Warrandyte. So this is such an important kick here for Ferntree Gully. They really need to take their opportunities like this one. 2-4 to 6-1 currently. It's Riley Pentland makes his way in. There's a lead coming. He's gonna ignore that. He's gonna go for goal, and he's kicked it. That was well done, Riley Pentland. Excellent kick from about 40 out. So Ferntree Gully just staying in touch here with Warrandyte.
Yeah, and the kicker from fullback just sort of, I think he overpowered it a bit, had a man in front, and just went over the top in the end. So, but that's exactly what they need to do, and they need to start capitalising on those opportunities. Ferntree Gully, I mean, obviously, Warrandyte, every time they go inside 50, they've been able to make the most of them. Ferntree Gully, that's one of the first times that they've really used that well.
Significant though, Ryan, that it was off a turnover and not from their own play, which is something they have to sort of get their head around. So Deiso goes up in the ruck. He might have just got his hand to it there. Nonetheless, they've got the goal they needed to just get them back a little bit in striking distance, over towards the far side. Chasing it and getting his hands on it was Bowden. The Ron Jeremy look like. Don't ask me who Ron Jeremy is, ask your father, as they go inside 50. Long kick from Ferntree Gully, but no, in fact, it's been cut across half back, so they're going to bring it forward. Taking just too much time, but finally the left foot kick up the line, and a good mark taken there by Gasparoni. Gasparoni wheels around, goes inboard. There's a little handball off to Brown. Brown goes forward. They've got a bit of space out here, but the next kick will be the one that they need to be accurate with. Calisperis, little handball inside into Waldron, and they've turned it over again. That's been the story of the day, and here's Warrandyte coming forward. And they'll get a kick into the middle of the ground. That's Brookings in, but a nice little chip over the top, beautifully done, and that's just far, far too easy. And Warrandyte will go back, and that once again all stem from the turnover as Clark lines up.
Well, every time they've had turned it over, they've just been outnumbered down in their back line, and obviously they had Clark then, and then Phillips was over the top also by himself, so they just find so much space inside 50.
Yeah, Brooking was just on his own.
So Quinn Clark got one just not that long ago. Can he hit his second of the day? He sprayed that, I'm pretty sure. No, he hasn't.
No, he's kicked that.
Come back. It looked like the umpire was certainly heading off to his left or our right as we look at the screen, but it's a goal. So Quinn Clark gets his second. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, making it a 19-point game. It's Warrandyte 7-1-43 to Ferntree Gully 3-4-22, and I can't count because that's 21 points.
Let's quickly go to Paul in the score centre.
In Division 2, Boronia lead 3-4-22 over East Burwood 1-3-9.
Thank you, Paul. All right,
the Hawks.
Yeah. And Dakota Brooking was just on his own there, so I don't know, a little bit of poor two-way running from the Ferntree Gully mids. As good as they've been so far today with their ball movement. Diesso gets the tap there. Chasing it, there was Brown, I think, crashing in. That was well done by Gasparoni. Here's a high kick forward. It's been taken by Deleu, who's found his way down there. That was smothered. It came to Flannery. The man out in space was Kaika. He gets it on to Kalisperis. Kalisperis shares it round. That's a kick around the body, and it was just a little bit to the right there. So another opportunity gone begging for Ferntree Gully. Something we haven't mentioned is the accuracy. It's 3-5 to 7-1.
Yeah. They just don't have the height down there to win those one-on-one contests. So once the ball goes in up like that, you know, the Warrandyte defender there was leading for the ball. They're just not going to win those one-on-one contests.
So it's Andrew White to bring it back in. And that's it, though. They've got to take those opportunities. And a goal there would have been quite handy, but they didn't manage to do it. So White, it's a funny old kick, but it's marked there, only just, by Morris. So Morris just turning around. A little chip out towards the wing, and the mark not taken. In fact, it might even be out on the full. Either way, it's a free kick to Ferntree Gully, taken there by Sedzikos. Goes long inside 50, but again, it's a poor kick. The kicking efficiency's been really bad on the ground. They're trying to pick it up. Was Saunders did well, and he's wrapped up on the tackle by Sedzikos, trying to make up for that poor kick. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up. So 20-point margin at the moment. We've had 15 minutes of this second term. Seems to have gone quite quick as the umpire throws it up. One there by Harvey. He's been good on the ruck. As the ball goes on the ground, diving in it, there was a Warrandyte player. And I reckon
it's a free kick to Saunders,
he's a little bit lucky there. I wouldn't have minded thinking it could have gone the other way for diving on the ball, but he must have got a high one. So Saunders, just once again, slow ball movement, but he finally gets the kick away. Up they fly. Beautiful. No, in fact, it hasn't been taken there. It's bounced away for Diesso. Diesso tries to get a kick in, but it's smothered now. The ball's on the ground. Comes out. Trying to get his hands on it there was Warrandyte player number 42 is Moss. Now it's in board again, and the umpire's whistle has gone. And we'll have a free kick. It'll be taken there by Crocker. Some holding, I think.
And so it's been taken in the middle of the ground there by Patterson. And another free kick's been picked out there. Is it going down the ground? I think it is. Patterson must have been tackled after he disposed of the ball. And we're going to have another shot at goal for Riley Pentland, who just kicked an impressive one earlier. Similar spot, bit of a different angle this time. And so we'll just stick with this for now. As Patterson lines up. This is, once again, we're going to keep saying it, such an important goal here, or kick at goal here for Ferntree Gully. We'll see what Pentland has up his long sleeves this time. It's on its way, and it's just shoved to the right. Let's go to Paul in the score centre.
In Premier Division, Bowen leads 7-6-48 over Berwick 1-4-10. South Croydon lead 9-1-55 over Park Orchards 1-2-8. And Noble Park lead 2-4-16 over Vermont, yet to score.
So great result that Noble Park score coming through against Vermont as the ball is rebounded by Warrandyte. But at a couple of opportunities just in recent times have gone begging for Ferntree Gully. They could have been a lot closer in this game. As it is, they trail by 19 points. So they're still alive, but they've got to start converting their opportunities. As the umpire says, we'll have a ball up. It's almost like we've got another co-commentator, Mr. A Dog, down there barking away. He's having a lot to say as the ball goes in. One there by Warrandyte through Hayton, and it's across the boundary line. And we'll have a ball up. So just a sprinkling of spectators, but a very pleasant afternoon out here at Wally Tew Reserve. Bit of cloud around, but there's not going to be any rain. Not until later anyway, hopefully, as Diesso gets the tap. Goes over the tap, and that's a strong tackle put on Sedzikos there as he took possession of the ball, and he's been taken high. So Ferntree Gully, another opportunity to go inside 50. I don't think he'll be going for goal. It's a bit beyond his capabilities, but he goes to the hot spot, trying to hit a target. This has been the problem, but beautifully done over there and taken by Appleby it was, and Warrandyte will rebound off the half-back line.
Yeah, it was a 2-on-1 situation. Once again, just not great inside 50 work by Ferntree Gully, but they've pushed up Ferntree Gully here and restricting the options for Warrandyte. So it's going to be a high ball there. Patterson couldn't quite take it. Diesso was there as well. He shoved a handball out to Gasparoni. He got one out as he was getting tackled. That was good work, ground level by Bull. He fired a handball out, found the runner in Brown. This is the other Brown, Jake, not Jaden, and he was tackled well by Warrandyte. And it's going to be holding the ball. No, it's not. It's actually it was actually an illegal tackle against Jake Brown, so he'll go back. Kicking a half from home here. Bit of a floater. What's he got for this one? Bowden was there for Warrandyte, but it was a shove out, and it's going to be a Warrandyte free kick to come out of defence. So they found a little bit of space on the near side of the ground here, Warrandyte, with Brooking in it. He's got a kick. Well, it's a 2-on-1 situation for Skeen. He couldn't do much. In fact, Buckley, he couldn't do much about it. Picking it up there was McAleese. He handled it out. Buckley was there, though. Sproulds, huge tackle by Sproulds. Sling tackle, obviously. The recipient of that was Fre Lorenzo. In fact, no, sorry, it was Fre Lorenzo. So, to go forward again, little undisciplined there from Sproulds. Really trying to stamp his authority on the game a little overzealously. Fre Lorenzo, higher kick inside forward 50 for Warrandyte. It was a bit of a shallow entry, and it looks like McAleese for Ferntree Gully will rebound. Well, he just tapped that right over the line, and that was indeed a throw-in. I really thought that was going to be deliberate there for a second, but I think the umpire thought it was a bit of a skill error. Tapped down by Hayton. He gets the clearance. 2-on-1, though, for Warrandyte. And there was Delu. He crashed in to try and support. Good tackle by Sertsikos, and it's going to be a ball up. Let's go to Paul in the score centre.
In Premier Division, South Croydon lead 10-161 over Park Orchards 1-8. In Third Division, Glen Waverley lead 3-6-24 over Coldstream 1-5-11, and Waverley Blues lead 4-2-26 over Scoresby 2-3-15.
See some interesting results here. Park, which is getting a bit of a reality check in the clash this afternoon, taken there by Delu as he tries to get his kick away, but it was partially smothered, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up. So just over the 20-minute mark, so we're into time on in this second term. At the margin, it's still sort of sitting out at that tantalising 19 points. So Warrandyte still haven't been able to kick away. Ferntree Gully have had probably a reasonable quarter, you'd have to say, and they've just stayed in the game. Ball on the ground, nicely roved there by Flannery, and the kick forward by Patterson going inside 50. Once again, it doesn't really find a target, but it's fallen here. Great opportunity in the goal for Kalisperos.
Well done.
Out of absolutely nothing. It looked like a bit of a nothing play as the kick went forward, but it was Kalisperos there. He saw the opportunity. Let's watch the replay, and you can see it going through the hands, and Kalisperos, the skill error there from Verstegen, and Kalisperos has put it through, and suddenly it's a 13-point game. 7-1-43 to 4-6-30 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, that's when he's most dangerous. A guy like Kalisperos hasn't got much height, very small. So once a ball hits the ground in that forward line, that's where the forward pressure and just to be able to jump on the ball like that and put it through is really important. So it's good for him to get involved. He's a known goal kicker. But as you said, he's not going to be the one to take a mark inside 50.
Indeed. So we've got Diasso up in the ruck, but Hayton was the one that palmed it down. Oh, good break up there by Brown. That was Jaden Brown. It's come to McAleese. Ferntree Gully on the retreat, maintaining possession, but they were retreating, and that means the kick was a turnover. Andrew White, good intercept marker for Warrandyte, does what he does best. So he's going back to see what he can see up forward. And up there, it was Fre Lorenzo who can quite take it. Patterson will take it away for Ferntree Gully. He sees a marking option out there in Sam Crocker, who takes it out in front of Moss. Ferntree Gully hemmed in here a little bit by Warrandyte, so he goes the short chipping option to Waldron out in front of Saunders. Waldron looking inboard a little bit, but he's forced to take the kick down the line once again. It was a good kick, though. Pentland took the space. That was good ball movement by Ferntree Gully. Now he goes inboard. Cox couldn't take the mark. He was outnumbered. And now Warrandyte will try to spirit it away. He just kept that in, did Pollock. He didn't keep it in with the kick, though. He was under pressure. He was tackled. He went over, and he kicked it out on the full. So we're just waiting for the ball to come back here to McAleese, who'll take the free kick. Ferntree Gully, 4-6-30. Warrandyte, 7-1-43 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. That goal by Kalisperos really sort of keeping Ferntree Gully in it. McAleese kicks it inboard. So I think that was Harper to take the kick there. Cox marks it. Ferntree Gully really looking inside for some options. Kaika marks that short kick. He wheels around onto the right, kicks it towards true centre half forward. Good work by Pollock in the contest, but it's fallen for that was Kalisperos who it fell for, but his kick was cut off by Warrandyte. The kick down there by Warrandyte, marked on the wing by Skeen. Skeen goes back, searching for some options. He has the handball option here. That was Poole. It was a bit of a shank there by Poole, and Ferntree Gully will come away with it here. So now we've got Crocker. High ball over the wing. Pentland went up. He couldn't quite take it. Cox was there for support. He hands it over to Setsikos. His kick was another shocker. It falls in the path of Patterson. He picks it up, although he was being challenged. Pentland's in space. He finds another man in space there. Hands it back to Alex Bull. Alex Bull on the kick. It was ill-directed once again inside 50. Kaika had to tackle. It comes to Skeen, however. Skeen kicks it. Well, that wasn't a great kick either, scooped up by Pentland. Pentland finds a man back in space. Oh, he's just spilt it as Cox. Cox to Deleu. What can he do with it? High ball back inside 50 now for Ferntree Gully. High ball up there. Not a mark taken. And it should be another easy clear away for Warrandyte. Skeen should take the mark. Oh, Pentland just spoiled it in the pocket there. What can Pentland make of this? He dives on it, and I think it's just gone over the boundary line. Let's go to the score centre with Paul.
In Premier Division, Noble Park lead 5-7-37 over Vermont, 3 behinds.
Pressure been much better from Ferntree Gully.
It has. And so back in play, we've had 25 minutes gone in this second term, a 13-point margin at the moment in favour of Warrandyte. But Ferntree Gully, you'd have to say they've had a much better caught-up, albeit their disposal, I think, at times has let them down. So the umpire said we'll have a ball up. Players starting to look a bit fatigued already, of course, early part of the season, so maybe some not feeling quite as fit as they would normally. As the umpire throws it up they fly. Might have been Harvey who just got the tap there, but it's going to be thrown up because in fact, there might be a free kick. So the umpire says we'll throw it up again. So interesting first half, this one. We're still none the wiser. You still feel like Warrandyte are probably ahead on the game situation, but Ferntree Gully somehow just hanging in there as the ball is on the deck and dives on there, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up. So Cloud starting to roll in out.
Warrandyte free kick.
Warrandyte free kick, my bad. Cloud starting to roll in here at Wally Tew reserve, but I don't think there's any rain on the way. So here they come, Warrandyte. Long kick up the middle of the ground. Mark almost taken there by Clark going through his hands. Now it's Brooking going back across the half-back line. Gets a kick across but can't find a target. Nicely picked up there by Harper. Harper steadies, goes forward. Trying to hit a target, but he's kicked it. In fact, no, it's still in over there. Quick handball from Aiken. Did really well, but they can't keep it in. Trying to get his boot to it there was Kalispieros. The idea was right. The execution, not much. Well, not so. And the ball is out of bounds.
Some scores with Paul again.
In Premier Division, Blackburn lead at 6-2-38 over Doncaster 4-5-29, and in Division 1, Montrose lead 8-6-54 over Upper Ferntree Gully 4-24.
So we've got Patterson here. He tried to play on from that out in the full free kick, wasn't allowed to do so. So high ball. Deleu is there, sets himself, couldn't quite take it. And it's Verstegen fighting for it at ground level. Well, he wrenches it away. I thought he actually got away with that. But the umpire says, no, it was locked up before you took it away. And that's the half there. So Ferntree Gully on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 4-6-30 to Warrandyte 7-1-43 as we go into half-time.
So major goal kickers for Warrandyte. We've got Phillips with 4 and a few singles. Clark's got a couple, as Morris and Moss have got 1 each. And for Kalispieros for Ferntree Gully, they're already major goal kicker with 2. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and analyse all the action from the first half out here at Wally Tew Reserve on EFNL Game Day.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goalpost again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo, and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
What makes me would have to be, feel like I've got some unique, funny characteristics.
There's things that you don't even realise are part of your personality. It's your attitude.
My ability to care for other people.
My love for others.
Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve. It's AFNL action here. Match of the round brought to you by Eastland as Ferntree host Warrandyte and Matt Foddy here, joined by Blake Tennant, who's been boundary riding today and his debut on the Eastern Football Netball League media team. It's Ferntree 4-6-30, trailing Warrandyte 7-1-43. The major goal kicks. Ryan Phillips has 4 first-half majors, including 3 in the first term. Quinn Clark has kicked 2. Jake Moss the other for the Bloods. Whereas for Ferntree, they've been a bit inaccurate, but the goals have come from Ethan Kike, Gavin Calaspiris, Riley Pentland and Mitchell Sertzikos. We'll go to Paul Iaconi in the score centre in a second. But Blake, you've been down on the boundary line, mate. What are your views on the game? Because coming in, to be honest, I expected Warrandyte to blow Ferntree out of the water. And at times, when they've got their hands on the footy, they have. But for most of it, the Gully have dominated.
They have. I feel like the momentum has just come from Ferntree Gully. Warrandyte, they were very defensive in the second quarter, like when they were, that instance where Paul got the ball and kicked it down to the centre half forward line. I feel like Ferntree Gully switched on after that, and then after that, when they got going, they feel like the momentum was heading their way, and that's why they're, down by 13 points.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you in terms of the way Warrandyte defend. I'll be interested to notice how they defend when they're kicking. With the win, they might push up higher, but I think a lot of their scores, and Paul Donoghue, their coach, alluded to it in the pre-game, that a lot of their scores come from the outside and from the back half. So I think in the first quarter they had, I lost count after about 5, but they had a lot of intercept marks in defensive 50, and they go bang. They slingshot pretty quickly. There was a goal where Nakota Brooking was out on his own. Phillips is fourth, and Nakota Brooking was out on his own on the wing and caught Ferntree Gully on the hop. And then obviously Quinn Clark kicked a couple of goals in a similar scenario. So I agree. I think Ferntree Gully are actually doing the right things. They've got a game style. They want to possess it to halfway and then swarm forward. The only risk is that they haven't been able to take an inside 50 mark, which means Warrandyte are getting their hands on the footy and they're able to get blokes in space over the top.
Yeah, definitely. They're also kicking down the line. I've noticed that there's a mark down there.
Ferntree Gully or Warrandyte?
Ferntree Gully, sorry. Ferntree Gully marked the ball. They always look down the line. So if they can, find a target, even if it takes 2 to 3 kicks, and then find a target in the 450, I think they'll be right. I see Warrandyte too good here. Yeah,
I agree with you. Yeah, definitely Bournemouth and Warrandyte look to be quicker. They look to be a bit sharper. But Ferntree Gully on the balance of play have probably had a lot more of it. Paul, how are you looking in the score centre, mate? You ready to go?
Yeah, in Premier Division, Bowen leads 7-10-52 over Berwick 2-6-18.
Now, Paul, I'll just stop you there, mate, because you'll get a few angry callers from the southeast. Berwick, I know it's phonetically Berwick, but you're all right, mate. Carry on.
South Croydon lead 11-1-67
Straight
over
kicking.
Park Orchards 3-5-23. Yep, absolutely. Noble Park leads 6-8-44 over Vermont, 3 behind.
That's a big one, isn't it, Paul? Because Vermont, obviously, a lot of us talking them pre-game that they've been the champions for so long. Maybe they've finally wobbled.
But yeah, I mean, unbelievable, really, because Noble Park have certainly been on top.
Absolutely. Any other scores in that division, mate, that are popping out at you?
Not at the moment. In Division 1, Wanturna South lead 8-3-51 over Croydon 4-6-30.
Yeah, that's a big one for the Devils. Keep an eye on those other divisions, Paul, and we'll try to throw back to you as well before we go to another break. Blake, big news coming out of there. Both Warnie South getting a strong lead over Croydon. A win there would see them go 3-1 and probably cement themselves as a finals fancy.
Yeah, definitely. They struggled a bit last year, and now to see them, obviously they should have beat Montrose last time, but it's obviously they've come in as a surpriser, and obviously Lincoln Wong, all the midfielders and all that of Wanturna South, it shows that they're a really good side to watch, and definitely a surprise coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I guess the other game there in Noble Park, they look to be home over Vermont. You can never really count the champs out, but Noble Park flexing their muscles after a round one loss to Rowville. And I'll tell you what, if Rowville can get up over Norwood today, I don't know if Paul's got a score from Norwood and Rowville. If Rowville go 3-0 and have beaten Noble and Norwood, you'll have to fancy them as well.
I do have a score from Norwood and Rowville.
Go on, Paul.
Rowville lead 4-9-33 over Norwood 2-3-15.
Disappointing at home for the Wooders. Any other scores from the lower divisions, mate?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Well, Blake, for Warrandyte, I think they've just actually got to they've got to cash in this quarter. They'll be kicking with the breeze. They'll have probably a bit more of the footy in their own half. But I think they've got to actually even it out of the stoppages, because around the footy, Ferntree Gully are getting first use, aren't they?
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. I've noticed it's all down at the boundary. They've had numbers in the back of the ball as well to get that easy little look hand pass, and also looking to kick into space. So, I mean, even third quarter, as you touched on, I think in the show, this is the premiership quarter. This is where games are won usually. We also with your Hawthorn one with Stewie Jude, how he did that performance in the grand final. Can we see that as well this next quarter?
What about Ferntree Gully? Obviously straight kicking, but they've got to find a way of just finding a way to either kick it to areas where Warrandyte can't just waltz it out. Because as I said, a lot of the Warrandyte goals have come from defensive 50. They've got it and they've walked it straight back out. Because Ferntree Gully can't get a mark inside 450, so I don't think they're going to conjure a marking target at half time. So is their best bet maybe kicking long to the pockets, locking it in and getting a stoppage?
Oh, I think I could not agree with more with you there. I feel like that's what they need to do. Obviously, they haven't had a 450 mark, as you touched on before. And I feel like if they just go down the line again and, hopefully, use the space in the pockets as well. And, that could see them getting back into the game, which would be pretty good to see. Also, we want a good match. So
absolutely. All right. Paul, you got any more scores for us, mate, before we go to another break?
In Division 2, Baronia 4-5 to Eastport Burwood 4-5, so it's all level at half time. And the game between Noble Park and Vermont is actually 6-7, not
6-7.
6-8.
No, you've added a point to him, Paul. Have we got anything else from around the grounds, mate? Davis Harrigan's out of Beaconsfield and East Ringland. That was a big fly that he's got there.
Yeah. Mulgrave lead 5-9-39 to Heathmont 2-2-14.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much, Blake. We better get you back on the boundary line. Teams are running back out there. We've got to go to a quick break. And on the other side of the second half from Wally Tew is the Eagles tackle the Bloods.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo, and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local to your footy.
So welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve as we get set for the start of the third quarter. It's currently a 13-point margin. Warrandyte 7-143 to Ferntree Gully's 4-6-30. And you feel that Ferntree Gully needs to get out of the blocks fairly quickly in this second term. Ryan, what do you think is going to happen in this third term?
Well, yeah, only 13 points, and they probably owned that second quarter for majority of the game. They dominated it in the middle. They were able to get the ball forward. They just haven't been able to hit a target all day, and that's probably been the only issue. So, if the ball can hit the ground inside their forward 50, that's the best thing possible for them, because guys like Calsferius, they're the sort of short forward pressure sort of players that can kick a couple for them. So, look, I don't think they're going to be able to find much of a target up there, but that's when they look most dangerous.
Thanks for that, Ryan. As we get set for a start in the third term, as we said, 13-point margin at the moment in favour of Warren's. Up, they fly. It was Harvey who got a hit out. He's been pretty good, Harvey. Jalou knocks it forward to himself, tries to get his hands on the ball, but he ran past it. It's on the ground there with, I think it was Buckley trying to get his hands on it. The whistle goes in the end, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up. So nice start by Ferntree Gully. If they could pinch an early goal here, it'd certainly give them some confidence. It'd be interesting to see what the talk was from Brent Kiker at half-time. What the instruction was to try and get back into this game. Up they fly. Easily won there by Hayton. He gets a hit out over the top, but he hasn't been dominant today. They've held their own, Ferntree Gully. Bouncing around there. It's Dehuso on the turn. Gets a handball off. Here's an opportunity. It's Callisperis. In fact, it's Harper who gets the kick towards the far side, and it's just bouncing around over there, and Warrandyte are going to get out of this because they're going to rebound, and the opportunity for the moment is gone. Over there on the far side is Bowden, tries to get hands on it. It's bouncing around towards the boundary line. Still in over there through the hands of Clark. He's got a couple of goals to his name today. Now he gets it finally in the end, slams it down the line. Good work over there by Sprawls. He does the spoiling work, and the ball goes out of bounds on the far side.
You just want to look at how much Phillips moves around the ground, how athletic he was there. He was down there at the half back in the tackle there, and he moves up very quickly, and I think that's one of the real strong points of his game.
Indeed. I think it's one of the benefits of being such not a tall bloke not a huge bloke in terms of a key forward, but he's got those strong hands anyway to make up for that. So a good balance for him, as that ball in just resulted in a ball up now, and it's been palmed down there for Ferntree Gully. Kiker fighting for it once more at ground level. He's been good so far, and it's going to be another ball in inside Warrandyte's forward 50. as the umpire just sorts them out here. Going up again is Phillips, but it was a tap over the top by Harvey, and it's going to be Ferntree Gully to get it away. Nearly a mark there by White. I think it was a mark by White, and indeed it was. That was well done. So Warrandyte to load up and go again. Phillips is the target, obviously, down in forward 50. He didn't quite take it. Onto it is Deleu. He palms it towards a teammate there. In there was Morris. He couldn't quite trap it. In fact, it was Grimes, not Morris. And it'll be another ball up there in Warrandyte's forward 50.
You just have to wonder how much the loss of Buckley in the middle is going to hurt them. They obviously, Ferntree Gully have starting to get on top of those clearances. That's it's just a big loss in the middle.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a factor. Well, it was nearly taken by Moss there. He was slung to ground. Taken again by Ferntree Gully. They're going to try and rebound once more. Taking the ball there was Brown. Sertikos now finding some space, finds a man in space. This is Patterson. Patterson down towards the wing. It's a chase there. Verstegen did well to keep his feet and juggle the ball into the hands of another teammate. So Warrandyte to go again. But it's going to trickle over the line. No, it doesn't. Bowden did well to keep it in. It stays in again. In goes Brown. He passes it off to a teammate there. Now to Kaika. He found some space to run in. High ball. And it's just all Warrandyte there. There's no height down there for Ferntree Gully. The ball was taken. The mark was taken by Poole. So Poole just looking for some options. Another mark taken there down the line for Warrandyte as they edge it forward. Morris is there. He's scrapping for it at ground level, and we'll have another ball in over there on the wing.
So 13-point margin. Warrandyte 7-1-43 to 4-6-30. I'm going to say a big shout out to our colleague Ben Warren-Smith, who's been a little bit poorly in the last week or so. Hope you're feeling better, mate. Hope you're listening to the broadcast. Of course, on 98.1 Radio Eastern, also on the SEN app and coming across live too on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome to you wherever you're joining us around the world today. Free kick. It's going to be Brooking now, who takes a little hit out there, gives it across to White, who slams it forward. Bouncing around, not a great kick, but it might still work out. Phillips is there. He takes possession, but he's been wrapped up, and there's absolutely no hope at all of him getting that one clear, and the umpire says we'll have the ball up. So clouds starting to roll in here at Wally Tew Reserve, but hopefully we get through without any weather interruptions. Umpire sends it up. And Phillips going into the ruck that time. It's unusual. He gets the tap out, though, and then ball has been whacked forward off the boot. And it's over there on the far side. It's been taken by Ferntree Gully, and they'll be able to rebound.
It was a good mark by Young.
Little kick inside. Nice mark taken there by number 30 is Sprouls. He's been very good today, as the boys mentioned earlier. The little chip forward. That's a dangerous kick, though, but it's nicely done. In the hands of Brown. And chip down the line there for Harper, Jake Harper. So once again, this methodical build-up that we've seen from Ferntree Gully a few times today. And it's sort of worked for them in a way. Just that final entry inside 50 sometimes has let them down. That's a good, in fact, it wasn't a mark. It went to ground, but they've still got it. Ferntree Gully. Handball comes in. It was taken by Verstegen, but then he lost it. Then it went on to Grimes. He slams it onto the boot, just gets it out of the danger zone. Trying to pick it up there was Bowden, couldn't do so. On the ground, they fight for it. Nice work there by Patterson for Ferntree Gully. Scragging it on the ground there was Brown. Good work by him. Ball in dispute. Kaika, I think it is. Tackled without the ball. Is that going to be a free kick? No, the umpire says we'll give the tackler the benefit of the doubt.
We've got some scores with Paul.
In Division 3, scores are locked between Coldstream and Glen Waverley, 3-7-25 apiece. Donvale lead 4-9-33 over Fair Park, 4-4-28, and Waverley Blues lead 6-3-39 over Scoresby 5-6-36.
Thanks for that, Paul. So from that ball up, it went forward briefly for Warrandyte, but now it's in the hands of Harper, kicking it towards centre half forward for Ferntree Gully. The mark not taken, maybe a free kick given there. And it's gone to Kennedy, out wide for Kennedy it was. Warrandyte scrapping for it. At the bottom of there is Josh Appleby, and he just held on for it for too long there. Good tackle laid in there by Patterson. So he's had a good game, Patterson. And now he's forced to go back around the mark. So Patterson. Sorry, not Patterson, Flannery. His kick inside forward 50 was marked well by Warrandyte. Beasley it was. And a good kick by Beasley. It ended in a one-on-one contest there. Tackled out of it was Kennedy. And, well, it was holding the ball there, I think, once again against Kennedy, or a high tackle, in fact, and it's Sertikos to take the free kick. Is it within his range? He's definitely going back as if he thinks it is. So this will be an important early goal for Ferntree Gully. 4-6-30 to Warrandyte. 7-1-43 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Haven't had a score yet in this second quarter. So Tsertsikos to break that drought. He comes in. He's pushed it right, I think. Indeed, he has. So it'll just be the 1 point for Ferntree Gully. Let's go for some more scores with Paul.
In Premier Division, South Croydon lead 12-1-73 over Park Orchards 3-6-24, and in Division 4, Sylvan lead 8-3-51 over Surrey Park 4-5-29, Forest Hill lead 13-5-83 over Nunawading 3-4-22, and Kilsyth lead 6-4-40 over Croydon North 3-3-21.
Thank you, Paul. As Warrandyte have possession of the football again, they come forward, and the ball's been overkicked, but there was a whistle anyway, and I think or is it advantage?
That's
it's going to be advantage.
Yeah,
it's a goal.
Lorenzo.
There was a whistle, but the umpire said play advantage, and Lorenzo has put it through, and that's his first goal of the day. He had 3 coming into today, but that's his first of today.
That was a great search forward by Warrandyte.
And that margin suddenly out to a nasty little 18-point margin. Again, great work by Warrandyte. 8-1-49 to 4-7-31 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And that seems where they can hurt Ferntree Gully a lot of the time from those kick-outs, and they use the ball well on transition, and they seem to just generate so much space going forward, where it's almost the opposite of Ferntree Gully, where the Eagles can lock it down there for 5 minutes but just not be able to have any space for a goal.
And from the centre, it was Hayton that got the tap down, but only as far as a Ferntree Gully player in Cox. It's been juggled around there by Ferntree Gully, and they lost it in the end to Grimes. The kick out wide now to Clark. He couldn't quite take it. Good close checking there by McAleese. Back onto it, I think, was Pentland. But they've given it up on the wing there. Good turnover work by Warrandyte. Can they punish them here with a kick inside forward 50? Buckley out the back. He couldn't quite take it. It's been picked up by Moss in the pocket. Can he snap it round there? Not quite. It's just fallen to ground there out of the hands of Phillips. And so it'll be a kick in there, just the 1 point for Warrandyte. 8-50 to Ferntree Gully, 4-7-31.
So Ferntree Gully bring the ball back into play. Nice safe kick there, finds Crocker. Samuel Crocker goes up the line, hits his target too in Patterson. So they've been good at this part of the game. It's just getting the final, the ladder kicks towards that inside 50, which have let them down as the ball goes to ground, almost in the hands there of Kaika, but it's been wrapped up by Warrandyte on the ground. And the umpire blows the whistle and says, we will never get it out of there, and we'll have a ball up. It was Saunders that dived on the football. So ball up. Margin is 19 points. So it's in that dangerous sort of 3-goal margin, which has often been around this game, but it hasn't gone too much further than that, which has been good from a Ferntree Gully point of view as the ball goes forward, bouncing awkwardly there. Harpy couldn't control it. Now chasing back there is Waldron. What will he do? In fact, it's Warrandyte who get to it first. Ball comes back inside. Whistle's gone. Free kick to free kick to Warrandyte. Ferntree Gully were playing on, but we're going to come back for the Warrandyte free kick. So it's going to be a shot at goal. It doesn't look overly confident, but we'll see how we go. Here he comes. Kicks on his way, and it's going to come up. Not going to be short. It's going to be wide as well, and no score. So the margin stays at 19 points, and Ferntree Gully to bring the football back into play.
That was Lorenzo again.
In the hands of Sproul's. He's played pretty well today, and he will bring it back in for Ferntree Gully.
Indeed he does. Sproul's kicks it. It was a contest for Cox. He couldn't quite take it. It's spilled to ground now. Saunders picks it up for Warrandyte. He sees Morris inboard. But good intercept work by Delu. Just floated in over the top, took the mark. He's going to affect the switch out here for Ferntree Gully. They've done that well today. Mark taken out there by, I think it was Harvey. He kicks it down. Flannery just shoved his opponent out, though. Got away with it. That was well done. Harper now searching for a target inside forward 50, but it's all Warrandyte. It slipped through his hands, though. Verstegen is there fighting for it. Tsertsikos as well. Beasley picks it up. He was tackled to ground. And Saunders, he's just at the last line of defence. Big kick, and it's now been marked by Pollock. He's going to share it round. But it's just spilt out of the hands of, I think that's Poole. In fact, it's Powell. Tsertsikos tackled Pollock over there, and it's going to be a ball up just where the 50 meets the boundary line here at Furtry Gully's end. So there is Gasparoni. He couldn't quite do much with it. In fact, it was Kalisperis, and he was caught holding the ball by Skeen. Skeen to take the free kick. Bit of a contest on the wing there. He's going to try and kick down to. No, he's just chipped it and floating it over the top. That was well done, Alex Bull. Good intercept work. Now down to DSO, who takes the mark. Well done. He just outbodied his opponent. His opponent was Poole, and I don't think Poole's quite used to playing against such a large body in DSO, so he's going to go back, see if he can take the shot from about, I think it's only 20 metres out. Bit of an angle to contend with. This is such an important kick. We keep saying this whenever they're going for goal, Furtry Gully. Such an important kick to keep them in touch. And that is a goal. That is a goal to DSO. Well done to him. Let's go down to the boundary now.
Just got some injury news. Got number 2 for Furtry Gully, Chris Waldron. Looks like a shoulder, but I'll get back to you shortly about that. He just come off pretty hardly on the shoulder, so I'll get back to you.
Thanks for that, Blake. And let's also go to the scores with Paul.
In Premier Division, Bowen leads 7-12-54 over Berwick, 2-7-19.
Good move by Cocker to put DSO up forward and give them a bit more of a target, just more of an opportunity.
Just going to mention that he had to do something, didn't he? So he's pulled the trigger by sending DSO forward. So let's see if he can make a difference. Excuse me, the umpire to throw the ball back, and that's got it back to 13 points. So they just have this knack of sort of staying in the game, just getting a goal every so often as the ball comes out of the middle. Good work there by Warrandyte, and they do win it, so they'll be able to knock it out towards this far wing. The mark not taken, going back trying to get it was Brown. He was worried out of it though by Paul on the grounds, and it's well and truly wrapped up in there, and the umpire says we'll have the ball up. So but Daniel Dearce, quite a sight in the goal square. He's not a small man, that's for sure. I wouldn't want to be playing on him. So umpire sends it aloft. Up they fly. I think that was Harvey that got the tap out, but it's gone straight out of bounds, and the umpire says we'll have a throw in on that far side. I've really liked Harvey's game. He's battled well in the ruck today. And as the ball goes in again, getting over the top, that might have been him, I think, again, as the ball bounces out towards the wing, towed off the ground there by Crocker, and the umpire's whistle goes, and it's another free kick to Furtry Gully, so they're getting a bit of momentum. Kalisperis takes a bit of time, finally puts it on the right boot. Little chip kick down the line there, and he hits his target as well. This is good again. Aiken, haven't called his name too much today. He's had a fairly quiet day. It's a good kick. Mark taken there by Sitsakos. Now he gets it off to Patterson. Patterson goes inside. There's Diuso, but he's not going to get there on this occasion. But it's still an opportunity as it falls for Harper. Harper snaps it back towards goal.
Oh,
and he's put it through. That's brilliant. No, it's left post. I thought he kicked it just for a moment. It would have been a brilliant goal.
Let's quickly go to Paul with the scores.
In Division 3, Coldstream lead 4-8-32 over Glen Waverley 3-7-25, and Waverley, Scoresby lead 6-6-42 over Waverley 6-4-40.
Bit of a interesting result there for Waverley Blues, potentially going down to Scoresby. As we're back into the action here with Brown kicking it from centre half forward for Furtry Gully. It's a high ball, nearly swallowed up there by the Warrandyte defender. He couldn't quite do it. It was a flying shot at goal. Once again, Furtry Gully just peppering away. That's their 10th behind. 5-10-40 to Warrandyte, 8-50.
Well, they just keep generating the opportunities, don't they? That, eventually it does add up.
Absolutely. Sorry, that's not their 10th behind. That was already counted on the scoreboard. So it's 5-9-39 to Warrandyte, 8-50. So high ball towards the wing. It was actually a really long kick into the centre there for Warrandyte. Cleared the pack, but Furtry Gully to win it away again through Brown. This is Jaden Brown now out to Crocker. He kicks it down to a good mark in Harper. Dieso's there. He lumbers out and takes another chest mark in the pocket. And he can go back on a bit of an angle this time, but he's proven so far that those angles, he doesn't really mind them. He's able to kick through them. So, DSO, it's been an important move going down there in this third quarter for Furtry Gully. They found him a couple times. So he goes in, he's kicked around the body, and he's just missed, just offline there. unfortunately for DSO.
Yeah, fair comment. An interesting point that Jared just made. You said he lumbered after the ball, and that's pretty much the case because he's not the most agile man going around. So if they are going to use him in that forward role, they do need to kick it virtually straight to him, or certainly not give him too much work to do, because he does struggle a bit in the running department, and that's not being unkind. It's just the way it is. Ball on the ground might have been Kaika, who got his handball away to a teammate who gets absolutely slammed.
It's okay. I struggle in the running department. I'm about half his size.
I was going to say I'm no one to talk either. So the umpire to throw it up. That's what I said. I wasn't being nasty. Coming over the top was Harvey. Now it's Warrandyte with the football. Tackle comes in, and the umpire says, I think it's a free kick. He might have got one in the back.
No, ball up.
Ball up. Okay, I thought he might have paid the free kick. Up it goes. Up they fly. Getting his hands to it. There was Buckley. Excuse me, as my voice starts to fade away. Now it's in the hands of Kaika. Tries to get a handball out. It was partly smothered. Warrandyte just trying to burst it out of the clinches there. And the umpire's whistle is gone. It's a little bit of an untidy period of play.
We do have some scores with Paul.
1, Montrose lead 11-7-73 over Upper Ferntree Gully 5 straight 30, and in Division 2, Mulgrave lead 5-9-39 over Heathmont 2-2-14.
Heathmont in danger there, I'd say, against Mulgrave. Goodness me. And Upper Ferntree Gully, if they're not anything, they're at least accurate. It's got to be said. So
generous.
So it came down to Cox, but he couldn't quite take it. It's going to be it's actually going to be a free kick for a high tackle going the way of Warrandyte here. So what can we find through Warrandyte? Gee, he nearly ran into a Ferntree Gully man as he took that kick. Wasn't really paying attention, but at least he got it away to the half-forward line for Warrandyte as Morris is trying to fight it out. It finds Grimes. Well, Sprouse laid the smother, didn't know where it went, and it ended up back with Grimes. Grimes out to Hayton, now to Brooking in space. Can he go from there? Brooking and slot another goal for Warrandyte. That was fast play by Warrandyte. Well done to Brooking, finding his way into that sort of space. He's done that a couple times today, and well done to the Bloods.
Yeah, that one really hurts with Ferntree Gully really owning the last 5 to 6 minutes, and they sort of just seem to make something out of nothing, Warrandyte. They do find plenty of space in that forward line, and that's probably been a bit of an issue for Ferntree Gully so far. Yeah,
it's been the story of the day, hasn't it? They've had good patches, Ferntree Gully, but they haven't necessarily converted on the scoreboard, and that really does hurt you. So the margin out to 16 points. They're still not inconceivable that they could come back, but they're just going to have to try and get some big scores, some 6-pointers on the board. One by Harvey out of the middle, knocks it forward, bouncing around over there. Brooking almost had it, but he gets it forward. Diasso ran past it, and we'll have a ball up as it's taken on the ground there. So we've got it just coming up to the 20-minute mark of this third term, so we're nulling into time on as the hit out from Hayton. The ball bounces forward. Plenty of Warrandyte players back there, though, but it's won nicely on the ground there by Ferntree Gully. I'm not sure how they won that, to be honest. There were so many players back. Snap forward. Can we get a mark? Yes, we can.
Oh.
Whistle's gone, but I think that'll be advantage.
No, that was a goal, yeah.
It's a goal. It's number 14. It's
Ricky Aiken.
It's Ricky Aiken. So what an important goal that one was. And once again, just coming out of nothing, the ball was on the ground, and then the kick forward. And look at Ricky Aiken. He had a couple of defenders around him. A good little shepherd coming in there too from Flannery. I think that made quite a big difference. And then the kick through from Aiken. So that's a crucial goal. That gets it back to a 10-point margin as we go into time on. It's Warrandyte 9-56 and Ferntree Gully 16-46.
We got some more scores with Paul.
In Division 3, Glen Waverley lead 5-8-38 over Coldstream 4-8-32.
Thank you for that. So, back into the centre. Ferntree Gully just keeping in touch once again. They've done this well. They've just scrounged the goals when they've needed them. Up into the ruck goes Harvey, but he was beaten to it by Hayton. Taking it out was Grimes. He kicks a high, wobbly ball towards the wing. No one's going to make it. Now Skeen. He gets the handball to Hayton, showing it around here. Back to Grimes. He was in some space, so he found a good kick towards Brooking. He couldn't quite take it, though. And it was Harvey that gets it. Not Harvey that gets the kick away. It was Bull that got the kick away. Diasio has worked his way up the ground. Delu is in there as well, crashing in Diasio, just bowling people over. And, well, the same thing happened there to the Ferntree Gully man, Harvey. And it's just going to go over the line. Bit of a good physical stretch of play there for both teams, really. That was well done. So, back over the boundary line. And now Hayton, he takes the mark. He just threw that out. I thought indeed he did, and the umpire agreed with him. So it's going to be a free kick to Fantry Gully. They're going to need to make the most of this. There's 3.5 minutes left in this quarter as Brown gets it away towards half forward. Saunders slips over onto the boundary, onto the Fantry Gully bench, and he's looking hurt there. I don't know exactly what happened to.
I think he got an accidental kick. I was watching just, and I think it was Aiken who just as he fell, his legs went up and he caught him in the head. So yeah, but it wasn't deliberate. I think it was very much just an accident. But he doesn't look terribly well.
No, not at all.
So he's up. All right. It looked like he was in a fair bit of strife there, but he's just getting himself together.
Just a bit of an arm. I think they got him in the end, in the head.
Okay.
He's good to take the kick at least.
So he's going to take the kick anyway. So Luke Saunders makes the most miraculous comeback since Lazarus as he gets the ball inside. Falling on the ground, Brooking goes in and gets it, but he's wrapped up in a really good tackle. And no prior there.
It was good by Gasparoni.
Gasparoni it was. So the umpire said we will throw it up. So 23 minutes gone on this third term, and the margin's still a tantalising 10 points. Fantry Gully just having the ability to just hang around, stick around. Up it goes. Easily one there on Hayton, gets the tap out, trying to get the hands on the clearance, but they couldn't do so, Warrandyte, and eventually it's across the boundary line.
We got some more scores with Paul.
In Premier Division, Bowen lead 9-13-67 over Berwick 3-7-25, and Blackburn lead 10-3-63 over Doncaster 5-6-36.
Some interesting scores there. There's the ball is back in play, and we've got a free kick. There's a bit of filling in this game now. There's one or two players getting pushed and shoved out of the way, but Warrandyte get it, and they'll slam it down the middle of the ground, trying to hit a target. It's a long kick. Brooking is there, but couldn't get his hands on it. In fact, it falls for Fantry Gully. Nice kick there by Cox. Mark is found, quickly played on. It's McAleese, gets a long kick forward to Yuso. Can he get... brilliant ball coming in there from Beasley, I think it was, and they'll get out of this, Warrandyte. Tieso was there. He was pretty... In fact, that's got to be a free kick, surely. No. Umpire says no. Verstegen got shoved out of the way, but the umpire says nothing doing. And the mark is taken there by Paul for Warrandyte. They're a bit stiff there, I think, but nonetheless, Paul just looking around for options. Quite happy to slow it down because we are late in this quarter. We've had nearly 25 minutes played, and the margin's still 10 points up. They fly. Hands from Grimes, but he couldn't take it. Now it's come out. Tieso went through his legs, I think, but he gets it in the second attempt. Such a strong man. They get hold of him, but he just almost brushes them away like flies. Gets the kick forward. That might be a free kick. No, the umpire says play on. Crowd getting a bit into the game now, and that's well and truly wrapped up as we go. Boundary side down there is Blake Tennant for us today. Blake.
Just got some injury news. Chris Waldron is officially out of the game. He's in a cast at the moment, and currently just got picked up and to go to the hospital. So big news coming out there for Fantry Gully. Back to you.
That is unfortunate for Waldron. Let's go over to Paul with the scores.
In Division 1, Montrose lead 11-11-77 over Upper Fantry Gully 5 straight 30, and in Division 3, Waverley Blues lead 7-5-47 over Scoresby 6-8-44.
Closer game than I thought there with Waverley Blues and Scoresby. So Diesso goes up, taps it down. It was roved well by Fantry Gully. The man there was buried in the tackle. You can see who it was. I think it was Gasparoni. So another ball up there. Diesso, he's shoved out by Hayton quite clearly. So Hayton just wanted to get one over on the big man.
He almost finished up in the car park.
The umpire... it went completely, noticed by the umpire. And the mark, it was an intercept mark taken by Warrandyte on the three-quarter time siren. Let's have a look at the scoreboard for Bendigo Bank. It's Fantry Gully 6-10-46, Warrandyte 9-56. Guys, it's looking still like an interesting last quarter now.
Indeed. Major goal kickers, Jared, have you got those there?
So we've got Phillips now. He got 3 all in those, all in that first quarter. And 2 for Quinn Clark there for Warrandyte, and just single goal kickers so far for Fantry Gully, unless I happen to miss one. I think it might have been 2 for Calisperis, actually.
We'll check that out anyway. So Warrandyte in front, 9-2-56 against 6-10-46. It's all to play for as we take a break, and we'll come back with the final quarter.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo, and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
What makes me would have to be feel like I've got some unique, funny characteristics.
There's things that you don't even realise are part of your personality. It's your attitude.
My ability to care for other people.
My love for others.
Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve, where it's all to play for. A pretty enjoyable encounter out here this afternoon. It's been quite open, plenty of goals, and a game that's still very much on the line. 10-point margin for Warrandyte at three-quarter time. They lead 9-2-56 to 6-10-46. Brett Beston and Jared Beelan calling all the action for you this afternoon in the commentary chair. And Jared, they've just hung in there somehow. Ferntree Gully, they've missed some opportunities, but they're still in this game, aren't they?
They are. It's looking... Ferntree Gully are looking a lot better than I thought they would. Their ball movement has been good. Their clearance work has been excellent. They just need to take their opportunities going forward. It's been better since they moved D'Esso down there, though, hasn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, well, I think this is Gully's game to lose. I'd actually be surprised if they don't get up. They've had the ball they've just had that many opportunities, and eventually they start turning into scores, and we saw that a little bit. But the problem is when they do leak it backwards, Warrandyte just make an opportunity out of nothing.
Yeah,
and
they're very good on the rebound, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah, and so, they can lock it in as long as they want, but they need to start scoring.
Let's go boundary side, where Blake Tennant is down there for us today.
Yeah, just got the Ferntree Gully coach. Mate, how do you feel the first, second, and first half?
The first 3 quarters, look, I've been really impressed. I think we've had a lot of the play, and I think in a lot of parts of the game we're actually beating them. A little bit of cleaning up a little bit forward is always the avenue, but I think we've put ourselves in a position to actually run over them, and that's the way I'm feeling. I don't know about you boys up in the box.
What was the key message during that cuddle then?
Look, just a run. We think we've got them at league speed, so we'll go at every opportunity, keep the forward momentum.
Chris Waldron out for you guys. How much of an impact is that?
Yeah, he was really good with 2 down actually. Matty Kamira's out as well. So, look, this is why we play footy. 2 down, backs against the wall. So let's see how they go.
All right, good luck for the rest of the game, mate.
Thanks for that, Blake. So 2 down for Ferntree Gully, 2 down for Warrandyte as well. So, we're playing on for... playing on for a tough game here. As we are back in the centre, just getting ready. It's going to be interesting to see. What do we reckon could be the difference here? The difference maker?
Well, I think, it's just going to be, if we want to look at a player, maybe DSO down forward is the one he started to get a bit of space and was able to take a couple of marks. And that's something they had, none of in the first half. So you would look to him as someone up there. But, otherwise they've just got to start making the most of their opportunities. And for Warrandyte, they probably need to, win a few more centre clearances, which is something they definitely didn't do that third quarter.
Indeed.
Thank you, Ryan. So just about to get underway in this last quarter. You feel that Ferntree Gully would probably need to get the first goal. They don't want to get too much further behind, even though they have had the opportunities. Otherwise, this game could suddenly just be out of their reach, running out of time. It also can get a bit frustrating too when you miss so many opportunities, because you start to get a bit anxious and you feel like you should be possibly ahead. But 10 behinds today, albeit a couple of those rushed as the ball is knocked through by one by Hayton out of the middle, but the whistle's gone. And what are we going to have? Free kick by the looks to Warrandyte. Ferntree Gully player off to the races, but no, it's coming back. So free kick to Warrandyte. To Buckley now. Buckley goes forward, trying to hit a target, goes long. Up they fly. Good mark taken there, and they quickly play on as well. That's White. He's got a couple of goals for his name today, and he launches one forward. Can someone get on the end of it? Yes, they can. Brilliant mark. Fantastic stuff. And it's big, looks like Grimes. Yes, it is. Grimes. Yep. He's taken the mark. Good play there by White. And did really well winning the ball, and then he slammed it onto the boot. And big Tom Grimes, who's a big man, gets both hands to the ball. So this is a massive kick. This will put it out to 16 points, and it's not the start that Ferntree Gully would have wanted to this term. So the spectators behind the goal looking on anxiously as the big man lines up. Tom Grimes comes in. He'll be right behind this one to see it. It's on its way, and I reckon he's got it straight over the umpire's hat. That's a massive kick for Grimes, and that margin out to 16 points. Perfect start for Warrandyte. So they lead now by 10-62 to 6-10-46 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard on the early stages of this final term.
Now they all get around him, and let's go around the grounds to Paul.
In Premier Division, Bowen lead 11-14-18 over Berwick 5-7-37. South Croydon lead 12-1-73 over Park Orchards 4-7-31. Noble Park lead 11-10-76 over Vermont 2-4-16. And Blackburn lead 10-4-64 over Doncaster 7-6-48.
Thanks for that, Paul. So we've got Hayton being wrapped up there. He nearly got his own clearance away, but it was smothered. He retook the ball. And
what about that Noble Park result?
Yeah, with Vermont.
Show the balls!
Oh, that's stacking up to be an interesting game to look at.
No, it's over.
In hindsight, yeah. Yeah, no, it seems to be. It seems to be indeed. So punched away by Hayton. That was good out of the centre there. Pre Lorenzo tried to run onto it, but he was thwarted. Out to Kaika and now to Kalisperis, who sizes up his options. Short kick down to Tsertsikos. Tsertsikos kicks it inboard. He's got it to Brown. He hands it back to Kalisperis. And now down to Deleu, but it was a 2-on-1 situation. Good intercept mark from the man playing off his opponent there. It could be Andrew. No, it's not Andrew White. So down to Tsertsikos. Skeen over the top. Just about took Tsertsikos' head off, and that's what the umpire saw. So Tsertsikos, he's going to go a little wide there. Dropped mark there for Ferntree Gully. He tried to shovel it into the forward 50 for the Gullies, but it was all Warrandyte there. But it's going to come back now. He tried to play on straight into a tackle. He got it to Patterson, and that was a throw by Patterson. They were a little overzealous there, and that was Crocker that tried to play on a little bit too fast. So Nakota Brooking gets it into the centre. Over the top came Buckley. There's Hayton. He tries to shovel it out only as far as Flannery, and now Bull, and now Sprouse. It's an absolute skirmish there at centre half back for Warrandyte as they draw a free kick to Nakota Brooking. He's going to look out wide. He's got Saunders. He's looking good this game. Out to White, who cops a knock as he kicked it. It was a 2-on-1 situation there for Ferntree Gully. And it's going to be wrapped. Oh, not quite. It's going to come out for Ferntree Gully. They share it round. Out to Crocker again. over to, that's not Harper that took it. It was, in fact, Aitken indeed. And over we go. Harper takes it. He's running down the wing as Harper. Can he go from there? He's got the lights going. He's spotted up Delu. It's come down to now Gasparoni. He was knocked over. And Warrandyte holding on for grim death there as Kennedy just hacks it out. It's going to come right back, however. And Kaika takes the mark in the centre of the 50 for Ferntree Gully. Let's see if Kaika can go back and slots. I sound like a broken record. An important kick for Ferntree Gully once again. So, son of the coach, second game for Ethan Kaika here in the Ferntree Gully seniors. He's played well. He's gotten a lot of the ball. He's used it pretty well. He's been a good link-up player. And he's also kicked one goal. That was back in the first quarter. So, for his second, Ethan Kaika. He comes in. It was on its way, but it's just drifted out left. These are the chances that they need to take here, the Eagles.
Yeah, just interesting that they've got Delu now as a forward. You know, he's had such a good game in the midfield. So, you know, obviously they want to make him a new target, but interesting change.
Yeah, it's just robbing Peter to pay Paul, but they have to do something, don't they, as Saunders takes possession of the ball on the ground. So another opportunity goes begging, but the margin is 15 points, 10-62 to 6-1-47. Umpire throws it up in the middle of the grounds. I tell you what, I've been smelling these sausages all day. They smell absolutely delicious coming from down below as the ball is on the ground and it's well and truly wrapped up.
You could shut the window.
Well, you could do, but...
Oh, no, we can't. The cords are just... That's impossible.
Umpire throws it up. Coming over the top there was Harvey. He's been really impressive today. I think he's been one of Ferntree Gully's best, even if they do go on to lose this game. Brooking it is who comes away, slams it onto the boot, gets it forward, and they're away here. Warrandyte with Moss going inside 50, trying to get a target, but it's bouncing around. Who's going to get there first? Juggling over there was the big man Phillips. Had it and then lost it, and it's in the hands of, I think it's Sproul's over there. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up. So a lot of kicks just going to space, not being able to get on the end of them. And it is hurting Ferntree Gully as they win it out of the middle. And again, we've got a ball up situation. Kaika comes in with a good strong tackle. And on the ground there was Morris. So umpire to throw it up again. Up they fly. One nicely out of the middle, out of the ruck there by Young. But again, straight into the clinches, and we'll have another ball up. It's about the fourth one we've had, and I reckon we've gone about a metre.
I think we might have had some scores with Paul before.
In Division 1, East Ringwood lead Beaconsfield 10-4-64 East Ringwood over Beaconsfield 3-10-28. Montrose lead 13-13-91 over Upper Ferntree Gully 7 straight 42. Croydon lead 9-10-64 over Montana South 8-5-53. And in Premier Division, Rowville lead over Norwood. Rowville 4-14-38 over Norwood 5-5-35.
Interesting kickings.
Yeah. So in that time, we had a couple of ball ups. We might have another one here, although no, we won't. The umpire's found a free kick in that, and it's going to Warrandyte. So,
goal kicking practice at Rowville on Tuesday night.
So this is Tom Grimes to go back. He kicked that important first one for Warrandyte at the start of this quarter. Can he kick another one here? He's going to kick it from, I'd say about 45 metres out. He's straight in front, and they've been accurate today, Warrandyte. 6-2, of course, on the board for them. And this to really stretch their lead and put the pain on Ferntree Gully. Has he done that? Oh, no, he's pushed it out right, and it has gone so far right. It is out on the full. So, Ferntree Gully looking to kick it in. I think it might be Alex Moore with the ball there. He just managed to get it to Kaika, who's wheeling around. He sees an option down there, and Harvey Gasparoni came over the top and gave away the free kick to Hayton. That was unfortunate because Delu was about to take him away, and we know how good Delu is at using the ball. So Hayton, this is Taylor Hayton, the ruckman for Warrandyte. He's been a workhorse all day for them. Kicking it down the line. Phillips is there. He's wrestling with his opponent. Couldn't quite take it. Onto the ball was Buckley. He couldn't do much about it. And Moss over the line, I believe, as we'll have a throw in there in Warrandyte's forward pocket. And we'll have some more scores with Paul.
In Division 2, Ringwood lead 19-17, 131 over Oakley District 6-137.
Fair to say that one's all over out at Ringwood. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast today. We're coming to you on live, of course, on Facebook and YouTube, and, of course, broadcasting to you the commentary on 98.1 Radio Eastern and the SEN app. So, Ferntree Gully in the hands of Sitsikos, who gets the kick forward. Down the line, up they fly. Ball goes over the top, but Ferntree Gully will go inside 50 here, but this is going to be the next challenge to try. Diasa worried his opponent out of the way, but he couldn't get the ball. Slipping over there was Brooking, and the umpires found a free kick in there somewhere.
It was a 3-on-1 there to Diaso, but Brooking threw it out. And Ferntree Gully ended up getting the free kick there to Jaden Brown.
So, Jaden Brown, this is a huge kick. If this goes through, we'll have it back to and this is what they've done all day, Ferntree Gully. They've just had that knack of getting the goal just when it looks like the score might start to blow out.
So you reckon he'll kick it?
Not saying. I think it might be a bit beyond him, but we'll see how he goes. He strikes it. It's on its way, and it's heading across the face, and it's gone through for a minor score, so the opportunity is wasted. Not for the first time today, it's fair to say. They have been wasteful with their kicking a goal, Ferntree Gully, and it is costing them 10-62 Warrandyte lead. Ferntree Gully 6-12-48, and we're about halfway through the final term.
And let's go for some more scores with Paul.
In Division 3, Glen Waverley lead 5-9-39 over Coldstream 4-8-32. Donvale lead 9-12-66 over Fair Park 5-6-36, and Waverley Blues lead 9-9-63 over Scoresby 7-9-51.
Geez, over Stegan, he tried to rebound there, kicked it out in the full, and then copped one for his troubles. He's down with the medicos, but he's just gotten himself back up gingerly as Sprouse kicks a high one inside forward 50, looking for DSO, couldn't quite make it. White takes the ball and was tackled straight to ground there by Gasparoni, and it's going to be another ball up. Sorry, it wasn't Gasparoni, it was Pentland who tackled White to ground there. He's getting up slowly as well, so battered and bruised the Bloods. But they're holding firm here as Ferntree Gully continue to try and surge forward. Dieso in the ruck gets it down to Calasperis. He's got to work his way onto the right, snap around the body, but it's all Warrandyte there. He's just shoved it down the throat of, I believe this is Beasley here. So Beasley goes out wide, out to Bowden. He got shoved off the ball, beaten to it there by, I think it might have been Flannery. He gets it to Brown. Jake Brown from the 50. Oh, he might have kicked it. I don't believe it. That was an incredible goal, Jake Brown. Let's have a look at the replay there. He just got it and slammed it on the boot. That is exactly the miracle that Ferntree Gully was needing. They're back within 8 points now with 10 and a half minutes to go in this final quarter.
They're the goals they're probably going to kick. The set shots have been a bit of an issue, but
yeah, a lot of goals from broken play.
Yeah, tackles, turnovers. That's where they probably looked, more dangerous. And it's only 8 points. That another 2 goals. Footy's a momentum game. If they can get the next one straight away, they're right in this.
Thanks for that, Ryan. 12 and a half minutes played in this final term, and Ferntree Gully, they just keep hanging around, 8-point margin, and it's all to play for as the ball comes out of the middle. And was running past there, I think that might have been Kaika, and trying to get his hands on it was Moss, couldn't do so. Now it's on the ground, diving on it there was the big man, Hayton, and the umpire says we will ball it up.
It's up to Moss in the centre now. He's definitely one of Warrandyte's best players. And, Ferntree Gully with the clearances, they've been doing well. So I think Moss is going to be an important player for Warrandyte to hold on.
There's going to be a few nerves on the Warrandyte bench if Ferntree Gully can pinch the next one, especially getting late in the game as we have another stoppage.
I always like the side of when their backs against the walls. Ferntree Gully 0-3. If it's close, I'd back him to finish this.
Okay. They fly. One by Ferntree Gully out of the middle, and that might be a trip. It was Saunders who went to ground, but the umpires had no play on the ground there for the contest. But again, it's wrapped up.
Right, you've killed your shot there, Ryan. Not sure if I'm brave enough to do that right now.
Well, I think from quarter time they've been the better side. They've controlled the play. It's just been finishing touches that has let them down.
Exactly. So coming over the top there was Harvey, who gets the hit out. Sertsikos tries to pick it up, and again we'll have another stoppage as a strong tackle comes in there from Moss. So 8-point margin. We've had 14 minutes in this final term. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on Facebook and YouTube. And, of course, coming on 98.1 Radio Eastern and the SEN app as well as the ball goes into the stoppage once again. So we're having it's a bit of a stalemate. Oh, dear. Lucky we haven't.
Poor Geelong.
Lucky we haven't got any cameras in the box. Umpire throws it up. Coming over the top is Harvey. Gets a little hit out there for Deleu. Deleu loses control of the football, and it's in the hands of Brooking. And Brooking will be wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up.
Andrew.
So we've got boundary line for. Let's go back down to Blake Tennant on the boundary.
Just got another injury for Ferntree Gully, number 26, Thomas Gassoni. Can't pronounce the last name, but it looks like another shoulder injury. I think it was the last contest down here. I'll get back to you shortly on what's going on.
That's unfortunate because Gasparoni is the sort of player that you can rely on to kick those sort of freak goals as White kicks it down to centre half forward for the Bloods, and it was Clark out of there. Quinn Clark kicks a high ball. It was going through at post height, but it just drifted right. Warrandyte. They are trying to find their accuracy in this last quarter. It's starting to desert them a little bit. So opening the play up here from the back half. The kick has come to Lockie Young. So he's kicked it down onto the wing, taken by Cox. Ferntree Gully going to have to move the ball well here if they're going to find some space inside forward 50. The handball has been received by Jaden Brown as he's tackled immediately, and that was in the back or a sling potentially.
Tackle,
it was a sling. So Jaden Brown, he gets up. He knows he needs to go quickly. In goes Sertzikos against Saunders, and that's gone over the boundary line. Let's go around the grounds with Paul.
In Division 2, East Burwood lead 8-11-59 over Baronia 6-8-44. And in Division 4, Forest Hill lead 17-9-111 over Nunawading 5-7-37. Kilsyth lead 9-5-59 over Croy North 7-8-50. And Sylvan lead 12-8-80 over Surrey Park 5-5-35.
Thank you, Paul. I'm not calling anymore. I'm going home to sulk after hearing the Geelong result. No, I'm only kidding. Yes, see you. Bye. I'm devastated now. The umpire to throw it up again. Can't win them all, I suppose. But anyway. But goes coming over the top there was Harvey. So still a 9-point margin. It's 2 kicks, but they're still in this Ferntree Gully. Kick down the line from the boot of number 33.
I think it was Sproul, actually.
It was actually, yeah. No, just my eyes deceiving me. So 17 minutes. Thank you, Bruce. 70 minutes gone in this last term, so we could still have about 10 minutes to go. So there's still plenty of time. And as the saying goes, they're close enough if they're good enough. As Deleu gets up with the football.
We've actually got the countdown clock on the scoreboard here at the ground.
Not sure how accurate it is. I imagine it is. Okay, 6.5 minutes according to the countdown clock then, just like the old days with the countdown clock. As Ferntree Gully put the ball on the boot, goes over the head there of McAleese. Diving on it there was, I think that might be Bowden over there. And then wrapped up nice and tight as well. So it's got a bit scrappy in the last term. But Warrandyte won't mind that because it's Ferntree Gully that has to make all the play. So if they can get a few stoppages, they probably won't mind too much. Easily one out of the middle there by Hayton. He slams it forward onto the boot. Also almost a sling tackle there on Brown as he lost control of the football. But Ferntree Gully get it and they go over the top. Good little handball there from Crocker. They can't control it. It's gone down the line and they should be able to wrap this up. No. Warrandyte with the ball now. They slam it forward onto the boot and it's going to go right across the face of goal and it'll go out for, in fact, it's gone through for a point. So a handy point. It takes the margin out to 10 points. 64 plays 54 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And so it was a kick in there from, I think it was Brown. Mark not taken there by Cox. Brown, who must have followed up. Some good work there. Well, it's actually gone it's a free kick to Warrandyte. So this is Bowden telling his team, we need to slow down. He's going to go for it, apparently. He's going to go for the big roost up. And it's Phillips there. Not quite taking the mark was Buckley either. It's spilt out. That was McAleese. And a good mark taken there down the line for Ferntree Gully. They really need to move now. Mark taken by Jaden Brown. He's going to wheel around, find the handball option. It's Deleu. What can Deleu do? He can shrug the tackle he just got away. Evades another one. He's really trying to find some teammates here, so he kicks it out wide for, himself to run onto it. Oh, no, it wasn't himself, sorry, it was Kaika. And, he's kicked it down to the forward 50. There's been a whistle. It's a free kick going the way of Ferntree Gully indeed. So, what can the Gullies do from here? He's searching for an option inside 50 that they haven't found unless it's D'Esso, and this time, of course, it is. So D'Esso has taken it out in front of his eyes. He's done it well again, and he's going to line up about 40 metres out. Slight angle. This will be his third goal, D'Esso, if he kicks it. And this will bring it back to within 4 points with about 4 minutes to go too. So he trots in, launches it. It is on its way. I think it might be pushing left, however, and indeed it is. Let's quickly go around the grounds with Paul.
In Premier Division, Bowen lead 12-18-90 over Berwick 5-9-39. South Croydon lead 13-1-79 over Park Orchards 7-8-50. And in First Division, Montrose lead 15-14-104 over Upper Ferntree Gully 7-1-43. And in Division 2, Mulgrave lead 12-15-87 over Heathmont 5-2-32.
Thanks, Paul. Bringing us up to date with all the scores. Great job this afternoon. So it's a ball up as the ball has gone into the Warrandyte forward 50. Up it goes. Up they fly. Knocked out of the middle there. It might have been Harvey again, and they'll be taken across the boundary line by Deleu. So time running out. We're now into time on in this last quarter, so maybe still a few minutes to go, but they're still 2 kicks away, Ferntree Gully, so they need to get one pretty quickly. One there by Hayton out of the ruck. On the ground. Can they get it out? They can, just for the moment. But that might be in the back.
It was,
yep. Big tackle coming in there, but the umpire said, no, can't do that, Kaika. And it's a free kick to Saunders. Puts it onto the boot of, might have been Buckley. He slammed it forward, and that's a good mark taken over there by Sprules. He's been very good for Ferntree Gully. Just about their best play. Gets a funny old kick out towards the boundary line, Harper. Harper's off. Now he's got to look up forward and see who he can get the ball to. Handball over the top to Brown. Gets it back, but the handball is wayward. The idea was right. The execution not quite so, and the ball goes over the boundary line. It was a good little pair to play, but they just couldn't execute. Not for the first time today. So the umpire to throw it in. And D'Esso up against Hayton. Ball comes back out towards the boundary line. Good strong tackle on Gasparoni. Is it over there?
I think it might have been Harper.
Harper, sorry. And the markers are the umpire says we'll have another throw in or a ball up. So this is the worst thing for Ferntree Gully, just wasting time here. The clock is their worst enemy at the moment as the umpire throws it up. Up they go. They might have won the hit out that time. They don't get the clearance for now to see which way the ball bounces. And in fact, they do pick it up in the end. Handball over the top to Sertzikos. And Sertzikos says, let's get forward. We have to get the forward to get another goal pretty quickly. Ooh. That might be a tackle off the ball. A huge shout for a free kick that they may have had a case in point, I think. Ferntree Gullies, the ball goes back inside. That's high. Surely that's high on Pentland. The umpire says no doing. He's put the whistle away. Young gets it forward. And it's bouncing over the back of the pack, but they should be able to rush this through Warrandyte. No, they keep it in play. It'll chip out from the back, and the mark is going to be taken there. And then, in fact, it has been taken by Saunders.
That was ambitious by Moss keeping it in, but it's paid off.
I reckon there was a couple of free kicks possibly could have been paid for Ferntree Gully, but the umpire being just letting it go in this last quarter. He's a bit worse for wear too, Saunders.
So every second.
Yep. So Saunders just kicks it. It was played on. It wasn't 15, and the tackle has been laid by Jaden Brown. So this is their opportunity here, as Andrew White he didn't know what was going on there. Oh, my goodness me. So Jaden Brown lines up, and his kick was smothered by Brooking, my word. So Deleu fights for it. And you think that might have been a little bit inside the protective area by Brooking. Definitely heard a shout from the boundary line that might have suggested so, but the umpire letting it go once again. So we've got a ball up here, just outside of the arc for Ferntree Gully. They really need this next goal here. Running onto it is Sertzikos. He's going to try and fight for it there. Down to ground goes Saunders. He's been toppled over. Another throw up here where the boundary line meets the arc.
I think they're just going to run out of time now.
Yeah, just a minute left to go here as the ball goes up. Hayton or Harvey just got it down, wrapped up there, Ferntree Gully. It's going to be another ball up. 40 seconds to go. They're just going to run out of time here, Ferntree Gully. They need the 2 goals. Hayton takes it down. He's been wrapped up, not quite. Yeah, he was, says the umpire, and it'll come back to him. So Warrandyte just holding it up here as Ferntree Gully just clinging on. The time ticks down. We're at 25 seconds to go. Harvey knocks it down from that, and it's going to go over the boundary line. Not quite. Setsikos keeps it in. Onto it is Pre Lorenzo. He's going to get the kick away out. A clearing kick for Warrandyte. It's going to come back through McAleese. McAleese gets the kick into Jaden Brown. They know that there's not much time left. He just fumbles the ball at the wrong moment. Picks it up, kicks it down into forward 50. There's a whistle that's gone. It's gone the way of Ferntree Gully, but it's just going to be a consolation goal if they kick it. So the siren's gone. Warrandyte will win this game at 10-4, 64 to Ferntree Gully, 7-13, 55. However, there's going to be a kick on the siren here to Jack Flannery, and this will be all academic. The ball wasn't passed back to him properly, so the umpire awarded a 25. Makes it a little easier for Flannery to make the margin a little bit less here. He comes in. And, well, he kicks it, but as I said, only a consolation goal as Warrandyte take the 4 points here in this Division 3 matchup for EFNL game day. Wow, what did we think of that, guys?
Well, it's sort of reflective of Warrandyte's season so far. They've just been able to get over the line in most games without really having to impress that much or blow sides away. And look, they after quarter time, I think, especially in that second half, they just they weren't scoring much. They weren't getting it inside 50, really rarely. So they just had to defend hard. And, they did a fantastic job with that. And Ferntree Gully will look at this as, another 4 points that, got away from them. They had chances today, 8 goals, 13.
Yep.
Let's go boundary. I think I heard a boundary call from Blake Tennant.
Yeah, guys, just got Jake Moss. Jake, what a game of footy. How do you feel about that one, mate?
Thanks, mate. A bit too close for my liking, but, yeah, good to get the win.
Yeah, you could always feel that Ferntree Gully were always going to come. We saw it in the third quarter. How did you adapt, and what changes would you make to make them not come back?
I don't know. We're down on a few boys early in the game, so it was hard. I don't know.
Anyway, I'll enjoy the win, mate, and good luck for the year, mate.
So, man, a few words is...
exhausted, I think. Yeah, just catching his breath.
Jake Moss, but it has been a pretty interesting game this afternoon, and both sides do look exhausted. It was on the line right up until the end, but in the end, it's Warrandyte who have got the win this afternoon.
We didn't quite give the final scores with that Flannery kick on goal. It was indeed Ferntree Gully 8-13, 61 to Warrandyte 10-4, 64. Let's go back down to the boundary with Blake Tennant.
Yeah, just got the winning coach, Paul. What a game of footy, mate.
Oh, our boys just seem to want to give me a heart attack every week at the moment. I'd rather win by 4 or 5, but we'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah, just talking to Jakey before, how did you feel? You felt like Ferntree Gully were always going to come, and how would you adapt as well for your point of view as a coach?
Yeah, look, we know they're a good side, and sure they're 0-4 now, but they're much better than that. They really outnumbered us and overlapped really well today, I thought, and their run was good. So we just had to go back to basics of playing one-on-one footy, and that was the real message, to get back to that so we could win it, yeah.
Yeah, as I touched on before, how good is Brian Phillips and Jake Moss in your side? They impacted the game really well today. And how do you think about their performances today?
Yeah, Buckets was on track for a bag in the first quarter. He started on fire, and I think Mossy gave it to him a couple of times there as well. So, look, Mossy, we moved in the midfield the last couple of weeks, and his speed out of the contest has been really good. So I thought we were a bit flat-footed today, and so we really needed that, yeah.
All right, good luck for the year, mate. I'll get you out of the rain. See ya.
Thanks,
And thanks for that, Blake. That was, goodness me. He's having a heart attack each week, as he said.
Mind you, on the plus side, they're winning the close games, Warrandyte, and that is a real plus, because I mean you can often get yourselves into a situation where you get close and you keep losing, and it becomes very frustrating. But if you look at all their wins, their biggest win I think has been by something like 12 points, and another close one today. So it bodes well for them being able to just win when it really matters. But you always felt, I felt Warrandyte had the game under control for most of it. Ferntree Gully did push a bit towards the end there, but it almost would have been, in some respects, maybe a bit of a travesty of justice if Ferntree Gully had got up. So Warrandyte get the win, and congratulations to the Bloods today.
It's a sign of a good side that they're not playing their best footy. Obviously, minor premiers last year, and they were comfortably beating a few different sides. Yeah, they're not playing their best this year, but they're still getting the job done.
Just got the song.
Got the song. So, rousing rendition of the Warrandyte song. Well done to the Bloods, but time to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and dissect the big game today. It's a win for Warrandyte out at the Wally Tew Reserve over Fentry Gully.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
So welcome back to Wally Tew Reserve. It's all done and dusted out here, and in the end it was Warrandyte that got the chocolates, 10-4-64 to Fentry Gully 8-13-61. A couple of late ones from the Gully just made the score perhaps look a little bit closer than it was, but you felt that Warrandyte probably had the game under control for most of the day. Boys, time to start thinking about the various votes, etc. for today.
Indeed. What do you reckon, Ryan? You got that?
Yeah, so I'm going to give one vote to Tom Grimes. I thought he was really good in the middle, had to step up. You know, they've obviously started to play him there a bit, and also then in the final quarter was able to put through a couple of goals, or in that second half was able to be a target up forward. So I'll give one to Grimes. I'm going to give two to Jake Moss, and I think a lot of this probably has to do with Mitch Buckley going out straight away in that first 5 minutes. They're already down in the middle, so that really hurts. So he had to step up. He played in the midfield last week, and really liked his game. And then for the 3 votes, I'm going with Jai Delu from Ferntree Gully. I just thought he was fantastic, especially around the ball. I thought it was interesting when they put him forward in that last quarter. Seemed to end up back in the midfield anyway, but he was just that dominant around the ball. Gave him plenty of opportunities, and it was just unfortunate that the Gully weren't really able to capitalise on it.
Yeah, I've got my 1 vote for Tertsikos. Definitely, he was everywhere. His disposal needed a well, especially with Kieran Gray out of the side for Ferntree Gully.
I was pretty similar. I went with Tertsikos for the 1 vote, Moss for the 2, and like you boys, I went with Delu for the 3 votes today, which makes him the winner with the best on ground.
And let's also go to Blake Tennant, see what his votes were.
I've got number 11.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about you, Blake, on my bag.
all good, guys. All good. One vote
It's been a long day.
One vote I'm going to go to Jai Delu. I thought he was really good. Really composed footballer. I thought 2 votes. He was good up early, but I thought number 17, Ryan Phillips, give him 2 votes. And Jake Moss, 42, I'll give him the 3 votes. He was solid all day and competed really well and really drove Warrandyte to get the win today.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And like Moss didn't figure in my votes. I feel like he's definitely an honourable mention for me. And it kind of just shows just how well spread out the field was today. There were a lot of good big players stepping up for both teams, and at different times in the match as well. As obviously Blake just had Phillips there, also very good early with his 3 goals in the first quarter. So I think we've also got some scores here with Paul, some around the ground scores for the rest of the EFNL league.
In Premier Division, Bowen lead 14-19, 103 over Berwick 6-12, 48. South Croydon lead 13-179 over Park Orchards 8-10, 58. Blackburn lead 13-5, over Doncaster 7-7, 49. In Division 1, East Ringwood won over Beaconsfield 12-9, 81. East Ringwood over Beaconsfield 4-13, 37. And Montrose lead 18-16, 124 over Upper Ferntree Gully 9-2, 56 in Division 3. Glen Waverley lead 8-11, 59 over Coldstream 8-10, 58. Don Vale lead 11-18, 84 over Fair Park 7-7, 49. And Waverley Blues lead 11-14, 80 over Scoresby 8-11, 59. And we've got another Division 1 update. Croydon 11-11, 77 beat Wanturna South 11-6, 72. And in Premier Division, Rowville 5-16, 46 beat Norwood 6-8, 44.
Gee, Rowville getting up. Goodness me.
Yeah.
And also Croydon just keep getting it done against Wanturna South. They just keep doing it, don't they?
That is a bit of a surprise to me, the Croydon result. But as you say, they just keep getting it done. But
exactly.
Some really close games in there. Did we hear the Noble Park score? I didn't pick that one up.
Noble Park won 13-10, 88 over Vermont 5-7, 37. Their first win over Vermont at home in a decade.
Well, there you go, Besso.
Yeah, it just seems so foreign that Vermont are getting. I mean, they can have the odd close loss, but that's an extraordinary result. I mean, no disrespects to Noble Park as much as I love my team, but that's 43 points.
They haven't been beaten like that for a
long time.
No,
The odd close loss, but not by 43 points.
I think the ones for me is the Coldstream Glen Waverley game, and of course this one today. Just shows how close Division 3 is. Also, Waverley Blues only over Scoresby by, I think, 21 points it was. Scoresby were up earlier as well.
Yeah.
So this is a really close division we've got on our hands here.
And that's probably the great thing about Division 3 and 4 right now, how tight it's starting to get. Obviously, the last couple of years, especially in Division 4, there's been a bigger gap. So, to see scores be quite competitive against the Waverley Blues, and it's very positive signs. And then again, today's game, to think that Ferntree Gully 0-4 doesn't sound right. Watching them today, that they're better than an 0-4 side
for sure.
And even Paul said that as well after the game, that they're a much better side than this, and their three of their four losses have just been by the barest of margins. Again, 3 points today, and I personally, I know you, Besto, were probably more thinking this was you probably thought you think that Warrandyte were probably the better side. I actually thought Ferntree Gully probably should have won this today. They just had that much opportunity in the second half, and it's just those finishing touches. And no McInerney this year. I thought that was probably noticeable in their forward loss. 50, not having him there.
They're trying to rotate DSO, Harvey, and also Flannery, and it's just not, the mix just isn't quite working out for them with those three at the moment. So they've got to either settle that and sort of like make sure the connection between the mids and the forward 50 is more settled, or they've got to find another option.
Brent Kiker did try and move the magnets, but in the end, he put DSO forward, and for a time, I think he got one or two fairly quickly, and it looked like it was going to work for him. But then after that, he sort of went out of the game for quite a long period.
The exact same thing happened, because I watched the Glen Waverley game as well for Ferntree Gully. The exact same thing happened with DSO in the exact same part of the game as well. Third quarter, DSO went forward, kicked a couple, but then faded again.
Yeah, I don't mean to be unkind, and I don't say this with any disrespect, but he perhaps doesn't look the fittest individual on a football field. He is a big man, and maybe later in the game he does tend to fatigue. I could be doing him a great injustice. He's obviously good with his body, but just his agility probably not quite there. But Ferntree Gully, they've got a bit to work on, but they just need to find a target up forward, and they were very wasteful today. How many behinds did they finish up kicking? 13. Which is so they had their opportunities, and to go down by only 3 points in the end, that's got to be the thing that they focus on during the week, definitely at training.
And what about Warrandyte? They're not performing as well as what we saw last year. They were the class team last year, almost unbeatable, except for the one loss. What was their one loss against?
They lost to East Burwood once in East Burwood, and then they had one other loss, I think. But you're right. I think it's just, again, a sign of a good side that they can get the job done. And right now their depth has really been tested. As they said at the start of the game, Besto, that I think Paul mentioned 33 players already by round 4, which is a lot to go through. And again, a couple more injuries. Buckley out straight away. We're not sure. That was a concussion, so you would assume
he won't
week protocol.
Play next week, no.
Won't play next week. And they had another injury as well. So they're being tested, and they're still being able to get the job done. So it's good to just be able to bank these sort of wins while they haven't got some of those star players in the side.
Without doubt. But I'm just looking down their team sheet today, and there really wasn't too many players that didn't at some point pop up and have an impact. You look at someone like Saunders. I thought he played well across the day. Verstegen was good. Nakota Brookings always buzzing around looking for something.
Always.
Buckley White was good. There's really nobody. Hayton, Morris, the list goes on. That they may not have all been best on grounds. Obviously they weren't, but at some stage in the day they popped up and played their part, and that's a sign of a good side, isn't it?
And it goes down to their backline as well, because they were constantly under threat by Ferntree Gully. As we've mentioned, Ferntree Gully, they controlled this game significantly, and players like and we'll get to the workman of the day and all that kind of stuff in a second. And I think that needs to go to one of the defenders for Warrandyte. You've got Andrew White down there. You've also got the commentator's conundrum of Powell, Poole, and Pollock all down in Warrandyte's backline. So maybe it is, like, we didn't call them that much today, but they were all working hard back there. Maybe it was fortunate for us that we didn't have to call those players as much today, because we would have stuffed it right up. But I think the one that popped up for me most of all was Andrew White.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
So that's the For Workers Eastland Workman of the Day.
Do we have a goal of the day for today? Are we going with Quinn Clark.
Yeah,
I
Quinn
think
Clark. I
it's gotta
think
be Quinn Clark.
we'll stick with Quinn Clark for
He's
the
about
goal of the
40
day.
out. That was
Yeah.
that was a solid one.
Yeah, I think that's when Warrandyte probably looked their best early on when you had Clark and Phillips there really setting the tone early. They had two big targets up there. They sort of went out of the game a little bit, especially Phillips. They didn't really have much of the ball in the second half, and the delivery to Phillips wasn't as dominant. Wasn't as too easy to his advantage as much as it was in that first quarter, because we thought we'd kick 8 or 9 after that first quarter.
I mean, the way he started, it looked like he was, as you say, Ryan, he was going to get a bag today and really dominate. And we're used to seeing him do that because he's such a good player. But then after that, he sort of went out of the game, and then others came into the game. I mean, he still finished with, I've got him down for 4, but I think I missed one maybe.
I've got 3.
Yeah, three or four. But then the other guys came into the play. I mean, Grimes got one, Clark got a couple, Brooking. They all just chimed in, and that's also once again that goes back to what we were saying before about being a good side. They've got spread right across the board, and they don't just rely on one player.
That's very true. I think that Phillips and Clark started to fade out of the game. Well, Clark really only popped up in that second quarter, but Phillips definitely started to fade out of the game as Fentry Gully's pressure was starting to ramp up. I think that clear ball movement that Warrandyte was looking for, kicking it into Phillips, with any cohesion, that kind of went out the window when Fentry Gully really ramped up the pressure. And so when Warrandyte was scoring, they were scoring off of fast breaks, and those fast breaks were happening when Phillips, he works up the ground really hard. So it's sort of like the ball kind of went past him, and it ended up with the faster runners down the end for Warrandyte, like Brooking.
Paul, have you got any more scores for us over there in the school centre?
In Division 2, Baronia lost East Burwood 12-14-86, got the job done over Baronia 8-12-60. In Division 4, Sylvan 19-12-126 over Surrey Park 10-7-67. Forest Hill 25-15-165 over Nuttawading 7-9-51. And Kilsyth 11-7-73 over Croydon North 8-11-59. And in Premier Division, South Croydon 14-2-86 over Park Orchards 10-11-71.
They really fought back then, the Sharks. They
left themselves too much to do that. They were way behind, weren't they? Just one result that did catch my eye there was the Croydon North result. They only went down by, was it 4 goals, I think?
14 points.
14 points. So
to Kilsyth, which is sort of like, they're fairly close with each other.
Fair enough, but
they're both pushing those, those bottom 3 are now pushing the top 4, which is what we want to see. We want to see an even division.
And probably on the other side of the flip side of that is Nunawading getting they didn't get, it's not the old Nunawading, but they got well and truly towed up today because they have shown steady improvement over the last season. Definitely.
And of course, the other game in that division, it was Sylvan and Surrey Park, and I think we were talking about it on the preview podcast that we were worried that we might have a new Coldstream on our hands in Sylvan.
Oh, they're
beating Surrey Park at such a degree.
That's a big loss.
By far the best side in Division 4, and I spoke to Trent Martin before the start of the season. And he was pretty confident that with the group that they've got, if they're not right there at that last day of September or the last couple of days, something's gone wrong because they've recruited well again, and they've just had a really solid pre-season and it's showing already.
Okay, so we're coming up towards the end of our coverage for today, but a pretty enjoyable day out here at Wally Tew Reserve, and just going forward for both these sides. I mean, do we see either of these sides pushing maybe for for glory at the end of the season, or do we see them sort of more as just middle of the road sides after today?
I'm still lost in Division 3. I'm not going to lie.
I'm very keen on Warrandyte, and I think once they get a few more of their players back from injury, they'll feature in finals. I think, and I think they're a real chance of the flag. They haven't really lost anyone over the off season, and today, although it wasn't a great game from them, and it. From all reports, their wins haven't been, the sort of form that they had last year. They're still getting the job done. So if they can hit their form at the right time of the year and have already banked up enough wins in the bank early when not playing well, they're a real chance for take out a premiership this year.
No, I agree. I think if they can surge late, once they got some players back, then and settled the side again a little bit. I expect them to be quite a settled side this year, but obviously those injuries have caused some sort of chaos there. For Ferntree Gully, on the other hand, I'm not sure how this long.